you don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper than again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of What If Saitama Enters Attack on Titan with Eren and Levi. Smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Reunion. Levi stood up. He was a little bit dizzy from the impact with the tree log. Whoever you people are, don't have a clue of who we are, Levi shouted towards Genos. Genos took a deep breath and begun to explain. You're absolutely right, we have no idea who you are, but we know why we came here. First let us apologize for our previous foolish behavior. As heroes we don't hurt other people often, mostly monsters. Now let us introduce ourselves, the cyborg said, placing a hand on his chest with a determined face. We are all heroes, from where we came. Heroes with classes and ranks exist, to saving the innocents and bringing peace to the world. I am Genos, or you can call me by my hero title Demon Cyborg. Next one is Garu, or else the hero hunter. He was a villain at first but now he's helping us, the good guys. Genos continued showing them the E-Spur. That is S-Class Rank 2 hero, Tatsumaki, or by her hero title Terrible Tornado. She defeats monsters and even humans with her psychic powers, if she has to. Tatsumaki shifted her gaze towards the cyborg with an angrily mocking expression and shouted, "That, I'm not an object. HMPH. She stared away with crossed hands. And for last, this is the S-Class Rank 1 hero of our world. He is only known as he cut off Genos and proceeded to introduce himself. Call me Blast. And I'm doing this hero job as a hobby. I actually do have a proper job to our world," the number 1 hero said, having a huge smile planted on his face. Wait a minute. Sasha touched her chin and resumed with a raised eyebrow. You are my love's disciple, Potato Girl asked. Genos had a curious expression, but before he could ask anything Hange butted in. You're Genos. Holy. Hange's eyes widened from excitement. OHHHLEVI. They must be just like Saitama. This Genos here is exactly who Saitama told us. Woohoo. Hange screamed from happiness. Armin standed back up with bruises on him face and jointed the conversation. I bet you 4 came to take Saitama back to your world. Armin was clever. Genos answered him with a small nod. Well, this ain't happening, fellas. Saitama will help us to set humanity free from this extinction the Titans caused to it, Levi declared, staring at the heroes serious. Titans? Genos shook his head curiously. Yes, you can say just like your master said to us. Titans are giant naked people who eat normal people like us and you, but they doesn't have reprocreating organs. And you, from your appearance, Mr. Genos, you doesn't look like human. What are you? Armin asked the demon cyborg. I am half human, half robot. That's called cyborg, with metal armor and weapons such as my incineration cannons. Hange were writing everything in a small notebook she had. Hange, we running out of time. If Saitama won't save Eren, we might not made it in time and he'll get eaten. Levi shouted to her. Look, we clearly are in the same team, all of us, and Saitama is where we going. Levi stated and waited Genos to answer. We don't know anything of the situation, but I'll come to help. I want to assist my sensei. Genos replied determined. We'll explain everything to you 4 after we save a brat named Eren. Hange take them back to Trost District. Erwin need to know. Mikasa, Jin. Everyone, let's move. Time to show you a little bit of my speed. And what's your name? Excuse me, I didn't ask before. Genos asked Levi. I am the captain of this group and my name is Levi. He answered to Genos while him and Mikasa were on the carriage. Nice to meet you, Captain Levi. I'm so glad we going straight to where my sensei is. Genos declared and activated speed boost under his boots. Everyone excluding the Oppum characters were shocked and watching in pure awe. Accelerate. Genos was too fast for the carriage, so he slowed down to follow them and get him to where Saitama is. Hange were left behind with Tatsumaki, Garu and Blast. OHHH. The experiments I have to test with you. Hange shouted with excitement and took off her glasses. But now it's not the time. Come, I'll explain you a little bit more about our cruel world. Ha, she smirked to them. Come, we going this way, right? Blast questioned Hange. Yeah. You don't need that horse, grab on. Blast gave his hand to Hange and she ride on his back. All 3 of them, including Garu thanks to Tatsumaki, flew back to find Erwin and the scouts. Hange couldn't believe it. She was on a man's back and they were flying without ODM gears. Oi, Mr. Genos, we're here. They made it to Ria's family's chapel. They searched and found a small hatch that was leading right into the crystallic area. Alright, show us your power, Mr. Genos. You can say bad guys will try to prevent us from saving Eren and finding your master. They are all down there, locked and loaded. Show them who's boss, lastly kill if you have to. Levi ordered to Genos, who immediately nodded to him. Nobody will stop me from reuniting with Saitama-sensei. Genos opened the hatch and begun running and scanning inside the room for foes. I got you all, he shouted. Kenny's men and the female assassin wasn't able to understand what they were seeing nor how to fight such a fast opponent right now. They were blinking again and again. What is that? One of them shouted. Those bastard scouts. Is this some sort of a new weapon? Another one screamed. Doesn't matter, take him or take it down. The fight between Kenny's squad and Genos begun. They were firing towards him. Genos is beyond their speed. Every single shot was missing him. The demon cyborg knew it was time to attack. Incinerate. The demon cyborg unleashed from his right palm massive fire blasts against Kenny's squad. 4 of them burned alive in their failed attempt to escape. The female assassin cursed this new threat. Damn, Kenny must find out about this. She retreated back to Kenny. Levi and the rest of the squad came with their gears right behind Genos. Nice work, Levi stated to Genos. Now that's what I call power. Connie gave a thumbs up towards Genos. I don't fully trust our new supernatural allies, but we'll learn more about them. With their unbelievable powers, we'll be able to save humanity from the Titans once and for all. Levi thought with his calm expression. Kenny's hidden behind a pillar. He saw the entire scene. The female assassin found and informed him about their new enemy. Her face were covered by fear and despair. Captain, what we do? That thing killed 4 of us, and I'm sure we're next. She rescripted to Kenny, making him to think. His eyes widened and responded. You moron. How the scouts had such weapon and we didn't saw it in action before. He screamed, making her to fall down and stare his furious expression. I don't care, and he slapped her right cheek and stopped her from talking. Shut up. Leave. We're done. Save your life, idiot. Kenny finished and walked back to Saitama, Eren, Rod and Historia. Hey, Captain, where are you going? We gotta escape from that thing, she said in desperation. Before I die, I wanna spar with someone, he stated, while he reloaded his handguns and headed back to the ritual area. Rod's gaze turned around to see Kenny, lowering himself down with his gear. What the hell you doing here? You should def, Kenny shouted angry to Rod. The scouts have a crazy fire-blasting human weapon. We didn't even saw it coming. That thing is coming right for us. Our weapons are useless against that kind of enemy. Rod showed disbelief. I don't believe this. I trust you, Kenny. You can handle that. Enemy, Rod exclaimed and shifted his face towards Historia. Shut up. You're using me all along. Kenny placed his handgun on Rod's face. Historia grabbed Kenny's hand to aid her father. Huh? You're plain pitiful, Historia. Let me tell you something before that thing kill us all. Kenny pushed her off and caused her to lost balance. Saitama holded Historia the moment she was about to fall down. Are you okay? The hero asked with a neutral expression. Thanks, Saitama. Historia answered to him whilst both of them stare Kenny. You two listen, bald freak. This father of Historia wants to turn her into a monster and make her eat Eren, he stated, while he pointed chained Eren above their heads. Historia shifted her glance to Saitama, blinking one of her eyes to him before she stand up again. The caped hero took some seconds to think about it. Oh, she's up to something. I won't intervene till she say so. Historia's gaze was angry towards Kenny. It's my duty. Yes, I'm going to eat Eren and bring my sister back. I'll inherit the world's history and exterminate with Saitama every last Titan. That's my duty. That must be it. She doesn't mean that, but I should stay close behind her, Saitama thought whilst he were serious. Hey, Historia. Kenny placed Rod down and resumed. Have you forgotten everything this guy has done to you? Kenny put his knife into Rod's mouth. The only thing he cares about is the blood inside you. He doesn't want to become a Titan himself. He's just trash. That fork. Saitama grabbed Kenny's wrist and held it tighty. You, again. Kenny felt the same enormous pressure like Mikasa. He let go of his knife and Rod. He's now face to face with serious Saitama. I've been waiting for ... our battle, Kenny shouted. Rod crawled near Historia and stated to Kenny, Kenny, you've served well up until now. You're free now. Go find another purpose in life and live out your years. Kenny's eyes were determined. The pain from Saitama's iron grip wasn't enough to prevent him from answering. Not before I kill this man. Kenny shot Saitama directly in his face, making him to stand back and let go of him hand. Te. You got me nice freak. Kenny glared daggers to Saitama, but he got shocked by seeing the bullet's immunity theory was right. Like he said, go live your years and quit being a villain or as a hero I'll have to defeat you. Saitama exclaimed towards Kenny. He didn't listen though. Like hell I'll listen to you. Why you doesn't quit as a hero then eh? Kenny asked Saitama, making him to turn into a neutral expression. It's a hobby. The hero replied back. A hobby? I can't blame ya. I had a hobby too. I was slaughtering members of the military police back in my younger days. But enough talking. He stared to Historia and replied with a relaxed tone. Go ahead and turn into a titan. I won't interfere anymore. I got my final battle right front of me. He aimed Saitama and shouted. It's on. Kenny ran towards Saitama and fired his guns. The caped baldy dodged every single bullet with no effort at all. Amazing. You freak are actually way much faster than this shorty Levi. Yahoo! Kenny unloaded his empty magazines and picked up the knife from the ground. Let's go. Melee fight, fists versus knife. Saitama yawned with boredom. Oh, you're boring me. I will rescue Eren now. Kenny attempted to stab Saitama's chest with his tiny knife, but the hero's chest shattered it to pieces. This made Kenny stare with widened eyes front of Saitama. How is that possible? Saitama half-normal punched Kenny and sended him on a crystallic pillar, fatally injuring him. Kenny coughed out blood and retreated from the ritual area. GHH. You got me good, damn it. Saitama took a glance to Historia. She was ready to inject herself with the serum. To create this world. To govern its very foundation. To be an omnipotent being is to be what my brother became. Rod rescripted to Historia. Saitama was hearing Rod talking to Historia about his father and his brother but didn't had his fully attention on them because he were fighting Kenny. Do you know what we call that? God, Rod said with awe in his voice. Saitama smacked his forehead and joined in their conversation. God, really? If you think that Titan power is making someone a god, then call him. Her here I wanna have around. Maybe that Titan god will be a challenge. But I highly doubt it will. You're wrong, protector. What we call that is truly God. And even you can't defeat it. And my duty is to bring God back to our world and offer them my prayers. I'm praying, Historia, for God to lead and guide humanity. Rod said and finished. Historia remembered what Ymir told her about to live a life she's proud of. She throwed the serum on the floor, making it shatter to pieces and the liquid to spread over the floor. Rod screamed in fear and anger. H-U-U-U-U-H. Historia. She grabbed his chest and throwed him from the other side. God, my ass. You're just giving yourself an out and manipulating other people. I've had it. I won't let you kill me. Saitama glanced to her. Oh, help me release Eren from those chains. She lifted a black bag from the floor while Saitama jumped right front of Eren, taking out the metal piece that was preventing Eren from talking. What are you two doing? Historia. Saitama ripped off one of the chains and Eren's right hand was free. Hey, stop it. If I go on living, everyone will keep suffering. Hurry up and eat me, Historia. I can't take living like this. Eren cried for no reason. Saitama broke the chains from Eren's left hand too with ease. Dude, shut the fuck up. We're rescuing you. The hero stated, and angry Historia followed Saitama's words. Exactly. Shut up, idiot. Just shut up. Saitama is right. Crybaby. She shouted while Saitama turned to ashes the chains from Eren's feet. Exterminate the Titans. Who the hell wants to do that bullshit? I'm starting to hate humanity. Humanity has already a god named Saitama. I'm humanity's biggest enemy. Got it. I'm the worst girl who ever lived. Historia was determined. Her words didn't affect Saitama at all. He was with her from the start. Got the last one. Saitama with his boredom expression exclaimed to Historia. Good job, Saitama. Now Eren, you escape from here. I'll destroy everything else. Rod was wriggling on the floor and came close to the serum. Genos landed inside the room with both of his legs ignited. He turned them off when he entered. SENSEI. The cyborg screamed in relief from reuniting with his master. Not even different dimensions can't stop Genos from finding his master. Levi and the others came in right after Genos did. Levi placed his hand on Genos' shoulder. Excellent work. We'll discuss about you and the other heroes when we reach safely inside the walls. Levi stated and run to Historia, Saitama and Eren. The rest of the squad followed him. Genos. Saitama replied with considerably widened eyes. How did you find me, man? The hero asked his disciple. Long story, but I brought company with me. Tatsumaki, Garu and Blast came in this new world with me sensei. Genos informed his sensei and saluted him. Blast? Who's Blast? Saitama questioned Genos, but Gene cut off their conversation and shouted with a frightened expression. What the hell is that man doing? He pointed Rod, who had placed his face on the serum liquid. Father, Yuri, Frieda, wait for me. Now, he licked the liquid. His eyes and mouth start glowing and orange lightings forced him transforming into the largest titan. Sensei, what is that thing? Genos asked nervously. A titan, Genos, Saitama said with shadows covering his eyes. Erwin saw hands waving at him whilst she was flying on Blast's back. 2 more flying people were with them. Commander Erwin, are you seeing this? A scout said while Erwin's gaze was on the newcomers. Unbelievable. Erwin whispered. They landed front of their horses. Garu took a glance at their surroundings and mumbled. I'm seeing a giant wall at the horizon. You, Erwin, you saw me. I could fly with no 3D maneuver gear, haha. Haynes replied to Erwin whilst he plowed to ask the newcomers about their powers. If my eyes doesn't deceive me, I'm staring at abnormal people, he said, but that grabbed the Esper's bad attitude and shouted momentarily towards Erwin. Abnormal? Are you stupid? You are just too weak. Blast interfere against Tatsumaki tornado of terror, let me do the explaining, he said calmly. HMPH. She shifted her face away. We are heroes, and we calm hands cut off Blast and screamed to Erwin and the scouts behind him. They coming from another world. They came to take Saitama back, but I'm assuming they will stay to help us defeat all the titans just like Saitama. Erwin's eyes widened in surprise while he holding his chin. So, let me get this straight. Erwin rescripted and continued, you 3 are like Saitama, with superpowers humanity hadn't seen before, right? The commander's attention was on Blast since he was looking like the leader. Yes, we are heroes just like I was about to say. We destroy monsters and protect humanity when it truly is in danger. When the situation is dire and no hope has left, we as heroes arrive to save the innocent ones. Blast retorted. However, Erwin wasn't convinced about their potentials. We have another member with us, however he left with some other people on a carriage and headed to save a brat. Yeah, the short man said, a brat named Eren. The young wolf exclaimed to Erwin. Can you demonstrate to us a little bit of your powers? Erwin asked and blinked. HMPH. Watch this weakling. Tatsumaki extended her hands and the green aura around her body glowed even more. Child's play, she said and used her psychic power. 100 trees float with the green aura covering them. The Esper opened wider her palms and sent the called army of trees hundreds of meters away. Scouts had all an expression of awe. Even Erwin had wide open eyes from the amazing display. What about you? The next one he asked was Garu. Check me out. Garu cracked his fists and took a martial arts stance. He launched himself on a tree and shouted whilst blue aura covered his hands. Godslayer instant attack. He turned the tree into thousands of small pieces with only his hands. One of the scouts bowed towards them and replied with frightened expression. They are gods. And you? Erwin kept the best one for last. It was Blast. Meanwhile in the ritual area. Sensei, you know those people? Genos asked loud cause of Rod's transformation. VERYYYY. They are my group now, Saitama stated back to his disciple. The ceiling is falling. The entire place will collapse. Levi shouted to everyone. Eren started crying and blaming himself. Everyone, I'm sorry. I've been nothing but useless. Ever since the very beginning, I was never the hope of humanity. Saitama is that hope humanity has, he said crying, and his gaze remarked a small bottle of the same liquid that turned humans into titans. Armor, Eren mumbled whilst Jean replied. What's this? Think you're some tragic hero? When have you ever accomplished anything by your strength alone? Jean let Connie and Sasha speak to Eren after him. Connie smirked to Eren with a mocking expression. What a weakling, we've been through much worse than this. But now we have Saitama with us. We won't die here. Sasha hugged Saitama and shouted, save us, my hero. Saitama patted her head and took a glance on Rod, who was a red mass of titan meat. The ceiling was about to fall. Sensei, I can take them out of here. Genos retorted back. Saitama let go of Sasha gently and answered, Genos, I can handle this. Just protect them, all right. His cyborg disciple nodded. It's useless, Saitama. We can't escape. Eren exclaimed to Saitama with still fingertips falling from his eyes. You can't be serious, Saitama stated to Eren and walked forward near the giant titan. Eren gritted his teeth. He grabbed the small liquid bottle and ran past Saitama, who was a lit bit confused. Eren, Mikasa shouted to him. I'm sorry, Saitama, just this once. I want you to let me believe in myself. Eren smashed the bottle in his mouth and transformed. He successfully used the Titan hardening ability to protect everyone, including Genos and Saitama, even though these two doesn't need protection. Everyone, get underneath Eren. You too. Levi pointed Saitama and Genos. Rod burst out of the ground like a giant snail. His legs and arms were very small to support his weight, so his face was on the ground. The scouts and the heroes saw the biggest titan appearing and crawling on the surface. What the hell is that? If it's that big this far away, it's gotta be twice as big as the colossal titan. The wall won't stand a chance. Commander, a scout next to Erwin asked. But Van Blast cut him off and declared momentarily, let me demonstrate to you what I'm capable of. Tatsumaki, I don't need assistance. It will take a minute. He flew off after Rod whilst leave Erwin and the scouts watch with awe. Blast float near Rod and clenched his hand into a fist. What a hideous creature. Suddenly his fist ignited blue fire. Blast launched himself and penetrated the entire body of the giant titan. Everyone from the scouts had wide open mouths and emotionless eyes. Blast returned and took a hero pose with his smile front of everyone. Commander, they are gods. A scout mumbled and dropped his torch. Wahoo, woe to our enemies with you guys around. Hand shouted while she hugged Blast. Whoa. Calm down now, that wasn't even a workout. My propel job in our world is way tougher than that. Blast exclaimed with his fist fire fading away. You must come and wall Cena. The people need to know gods like you exist. A scout next to them retorted. But what if they betray us and kill us all? Another scout member said and showed fear befalling him. We told you, we are heroes. Heroes doesn't kill innocents, they saving them. Blast gave courage to the poor man. While Hange came close to him and took his attention with a wink. Blast let Hange ride on his back once more and flew to the wall, having her giving them directions. With Saitama, Genos and the others. That's what I call hardening. Even after cutting you away, the Titan hasn't disappeared. Pretty impressive, yeah. Captain asked Eren. That bottle. Oh, yeah. Right before I turned into a Titan, I drank that armor bottle. Eren exclaimed to them, making Levi to walk near him. Yeah, you couldn't do it at all before now, but you used the hardening power, and saved all of us. However, I bet these two wouldn't died from that. Levi extended his arm to show Saitama and Genos, who had Sasha and Connie around them. Sasha was teasing Saitama by placing her cheek on his own, and Genos had Connie asking him questions about their world. Now that you can use the hardening ability, Eren, it's possible for us to plug that hole in Wall Maria now. It's going to be way much easier with Saitama and the previous guys we saw earlier. Levi kneeled and stated to Eren, making him to ask. Other guys? Yeah, we've encountered 4 individuals who came from the sky, just like Saitama. The one of them is here. And I remember your name, Genos, right? Levi took a glance to Genos with his calm expression. Indeed, and as my sensei told me, you all are his group. Genos questioned the short captain and got confirmation from Levi's nod. Let's go, we're going after that big-ass Titan. Everyone got out of the Rias crystallic area that it was now only debris and dust. They saw the giant rod Titan some hundred of meters away completely shredded. His body was vaporizing. They got shocked, even Levi. Only Saitama and Genos wasn't surprised. I'm hungry and I need sleep. Can we go eat now? Saitama asked and his trusty disciple followed him. Oi, you did that somehow? Levi asked Genos. I'm afraid not. From the looks of it, it must be Blast's doing. The guy with the blue cape, eh? The short captain questioned the cyborg again. Yes, that's correct. Let's head back. Hands should have reached Erwin with the others by now. Everyone nodded and followed Levi. Saitama and Genos were matching their allies' speed with ease by just running. Commander Erwin, it's Squad Levi. Eren, Historia and Saitama are with them. They succeeded. Erwin's eyes widened from relievedness. Those are excellent news. Erwin headed with his horse towards Levi's squad. Everyone all right? Erwin stopped next to Eren, who was on a wagon. Yeah, where's Hange with the other supernatural people? Levi stated a question to Erwin. After one of these unknown heroes destroyed with unimaginable power the massive Titan, she headed back to the wall with them. But what was that Titan? Erwin's gaze shifted to Levi Rodriguez. He turned into that Titan, who's now a filthy giant corpse. Levi rescripted to Erwin. The commander turned around and ordered them. Return to Wall Cena. What we gonna do with them? Levi asked Erwin with particular interest. We will gather all 5 of them to Stohas district. Humanity must know their supernatural saviors. The commander stated with a determined face. Stohas district crowded market square. They all had reached back in Wall Cena successfully. Please gather your squad in the market square center. Erwin's announcement will commence. A scout stated to Levi. All right. Genos had some questions for his sensei though. Saitama sensei, I have so many questions to ask you. Saitama picked his nose and replied with a neutral expression. No dude, keep it to 1 question with 20 words or less. Will you? Genos nodded and asked since when you had a girlfriend. Sensei. Saitama took a glance to Levi who were talking to Historia. The caped baldy answered towards his disciple. It's the first time I did something with a girl, so I didn't felt much, but I want to keep her happy. Genos equipped his small notebook and write everything. And her name? He asked his master. Oh, it's Sasha, Saitama declared to Genos. Oi, Saitama and his disciple, come here. You need to hear this too, Levi said towards them with a serious expression planted on his face, and then he shifted to Historia. Erwin's orders. When he will announce these heroes to the people, since you're the true successor to the throne. Become the queen, with Saitama being your protector. Everyone got surprised by hearing those words. Sasha asked Levi with slightly disbelief. "To queen. Historia." Levi resumed his point towards Historia. "The coup d'etat was successful, but the people won't follow a regiment sitting at the top. What we need is a story to spread. That a true heir retook the crown from the fake." Historia mumbled. Connie and Jean tried to assist her. Captain, I'm sure you heard what Historia said earlier, but, well, by leaving her father, she finally broke free from that burden, I guess you could say. And yet, again, Levi cut Connie off and asked what? If you have something to say, say it. Jean spoke next. In other words, Connie's trying to say, Historia broke free from the Rias family and has finally found herself. And now you're forcing her into another role. Isn't that not fair for her? Historia's tone went serious and said, all right, my next duty is to be queen, with Saitama being my protector, right? Understood. Armin mumbled to her. Historia. She turned her gaze towards Levi. Thanks for your concern. But whether or not it's forced on me is up to me to decide, I think. She stared Saitama with a determined face. However, Saitama, do you agree with this? Historia asked the caped hero. My hero hobby is to defeat monsters, bad guys, and protecting people, so I really don't mind at all. Historia, Eren, and Saitama followed Erwin. Everyone was gathered to hear Erwin's announcement. On a high platform was Erwin. Behind him the S-class heroes, including Garu, Saitama, Eren, and Historia, could be seen. Listen, people of the walls. Humanity has been living an extinction caused by the Titans for many years. But from tonight the tables have turned. Humanity has finally found its fate to believe in freedom. These heroes behind me are the ones that bring sunbeams of hope to humanity. With their unbelievable capabilities, they'll secure a better tomorrow for everyone inside these walls. They came from the sky, like God sends them to aid us. They possess powers we cannot possibly imagine. Erwin was holding Han's notebook. She were asking the newcomers about their names, powers, and wrote everything. We have Yeager. He can turn into a titan as you all know him. With his power we'll be able to uncover the mystery of the titans inside Wall Maria. Next one is Garu. Cause of his sharp shape and his crazy strength we gave him the title Killer Wolf. The citizens were talking to each other and staring with awe whilst Garu shredded a piece of metal front of the crowd. We have a woman, powerful enough to turn titans into ashes, without the need of an ODM gear. She can fly and destroy enemies in distance or close combat. It's called psychic powers. As you can see, the woman who possesses that ability is right behind me. Her name is Tatsumaki. Erwin extended his hand and saluted the Esper. Tatsumaki were floating and smirked with her egoistical expression on. I can handle those titans all by myself. And call me Terrible Tornado. She made the entire platform to levitate with only one finger without breaking a sweat. She put it down again so Erwin could continue the introduction. As you have witnessed with your own eyes, their powers are no fake. Erwin was gaining the crowd's trust even more. He resumed. The first hero humanity met and still has next to Eren is Saitama. His speed is beyond the ODM gears. He's able to punch with his bare hands titans into oblivion. Saitama scratched his head in boredom. The citizens were having happy and relieved expressions. This young man here, named Genos. He's not fully human. He has other materials in his body combined with human parts, materials that our technology is lacking from. Erwin continued. However, he has the power to manipulate fire from his hands. His speed is also faster than the ODM gear. Genos walked forward on the platform and said, people, as long we heroes are here, we will help you reclaim your freedom. Erwin placed his hand on Genos' shoulder and resumed. The last hero who defends humanity is that muscular average man, named Blast. His first encounter with a titan bigger than the Colossal was nothing against his power. We doesn't know his fully potential yet, because Blast informed to us that he doesn't even trying. Everyone was being thankful to the heroes. Erwin proceeded to introduce them the new queen. Now people, I want you to meet someone else too, the one that will be the guide and the leader, as the possessor of the true royal blood. Erwin stand back and let Historia speak to the countless crowd. I am Historia Rias, the true ruler of the walls, and that is my protector. Historia took a glimpse to Saitama next to her, with Kenny and Levi. Kenny was gravely injured by Saitama's punch. He lost a huge amount of blood. Kenny rested under a tree and had some flashbacks. Suddenly Levi and another random scout appeared front of him. Kenny shook his gaze slowly to Levi. Oh, gee, it's you. Kenny coughed out blood. Your comrades Genos fought. They all ended up getting burned alive from him or getting crushed. Are you the only survivor? Levi stated and asked. Kenny seems that way. Report back. I'm fine here alone. Levi ordered. The scout understood. He left. With that wound and blood loss, there's no helping you now, Levi exclaimed towards Kenny. Yeah, I wonder. Kenny put out of his pocket a small case with a titan serum inside it. Levi's jaw opened, moderately surprised. With that wound and blood loss, there's no helping you now, Levi said towards Kenny. Yeah, I wonder. He showed the injection with the titan serum to Levi in reply. I swiped this little one right out of Rod's bag. Seems if I inject this, I'll turn into a titan. One of those dumb titans. Unfortunately, for a while, it should extend my ... life. Kenny resumed with a question towards Levi. Hey, Levi, what was that thing you used against us back then? Levi stared Kenny with slightly pity and responded. He's a hero as he told us. His name is Genos. He got powers not even titans can't surpass. Kenny smirked and said back. Funny, I never believed such person exist, such as that saw Saitama who crippled me to death with one punch. Levi exclaimed and asked Kenny whilst the sunbeams was hitting on them. You've had the time and strength to inject yourself. Why haven't you? Yeah, I wonder, if I don't inject it right, I might end up like he did. All messed up. Levi didn't believe that answer much and retort to Kenny. I know you're not sitting here waiting to die. Don't you have a better excuse? He asked. I don't want to die. And wanted power. But, I see. I think I understand why he did it after all this time. Levi mumbled confused. Huh? Kenny laughed a bit and continued. Everyone I've met was all the same. Drinking, women, worshipping God, even family, the king, dreams, children, power. Everyone had to be drunk on something to keep pushing on. Everyone was a slave to something, even him. Kenny remembered Yuri and coughed blood. And what are you in that? Saitama. Heroes? Kenny asked Levi, half dead. Levi holded Kenny's shoulders and asked kneeled. Kenny, tell me everything you know. Why doesn't the first king want humanity to survive? Beats me. But we Ackermans opposed him. For that reason, Kenny split some blood on Levi's right cheek on accident, but Levi didn't care and replied. My last name seems to be Ackerman, too. You, what were you to my mother? Kenny smirked. Ha, you idiot. Just her brother. Levi remembered the day Kenny left him behind. That day. Why did you leave me? Kenny was trying harder to make the words leave his mouth. Because I'm not meant to be someone's father. He placed the small box with the injection inside it on Levi's chest. Kenny, Levi whispered in surprise to see his uncle dead front of him. 2 hours later, Historia's Inthronation. Darius Zackley placed the crown on Historia's head while they were on the platform. She had beautiful shiny blonde short hair, with some curves shape around them. A big red cape deserved for a right queen as Her Majesty. Behind her were all the regiment commanders, the heroes, and right next to her side the one and only, her protector Saitama. Everyone was clapping and cheering for their new queen. She is a real queen. You see those behind her? Those powerful immortals are under her command. Another citizen replied, excited. You mean the heroes? Totally. They will obey and listen to the queen as she leads humanity out of this living hell. Her father ruled as king from the shadows, but she ended his tyranny. Fledgel next to Hans shouted, she's our true ruler of the walls. Everyone shouted Queen Historia. Historia placed her right hand on her heart and did the iconic symbol. She became a queen, and now I'm her babysitter. Great. Oh, hold on. I can get enough money for my rent back to my world. Yos, I got this, Saitama thought inside his mind. After the inthronation, Mikasa whispered to Historia about something. Now that you're a queen, punch him for me. Eren heard it and informed it to the others. Hold on, you're seriously doing it, Historia? Historia hairs long and wore the white coat again. She were walking to a hallway with Jean, Sasha, Armin, Connie, Eren, Saitama, Mikasa, and Genos next to her. Sasha was holding hands with Saitama secretly from the others. Genos saw it, but he gave a small smile and thought to his mind, Sensei, and so happy your emotions finally waking up. Slowly, but it's working. Yeah, I am. The queen said. Mikasa was just joking about it. Right, Mikasa? Eren replied and shook his head to Mikasa. After you smack him, tell him this. I dare you to hit me back. Mikasa still had it with Levi from what he did to Eren back to the court, when they were considering what to do with him, way before Saitama come to their world. Damn you. Eren stared Historia again and stated, if it's not a real grudge, just forget it. Historia told to Eren with a serious expression. If I can't do this, how can I call myself queen? And I have nothing to be afraid of cause I have my protector right here. Hell yeah, Historia. That's the spirit. They saw Levi with his hand in his pockets. Historia's expression turned into a frustrated one and battle cried. She run and punched Levi's coat. He didn't felt anything though. Whoa. Everyone excluding Saitama, Genos, and Mikasa shouted in fear. How do you like that? I'm the queen. If you got a problem, Levi cut her off with a small giggle. Thank you, all of you. Historia giggled back and said, how about I let my protector punch you like I did? Levi's expression turned into a nervous one by seeing Saitama behind her waving at him. I'm beat it. I'll pass, but thanks again, all of you. And Saitama, he grabbed the hero's attention. Oh, yeah, we have gathered the other heroes outside where Annie's crystal is placed by Hange's men. It's time for the experiment Hange wanted so bad. The captain answered. Meanwhile, somewhere, the armored titan was defeated. Berthold ran and screamed, Reiner. He pulled Reiner out of his nape and stared the beast titan who had kneeled front of them. I won. Saving Annie come later. Retrieving the coordinate is our priority, as it should be. The mysterious man came out of the beast titan's nape. If we just wait here, it'll come to us. He cleared his glasses and revealed himself. It was a middle-aged man, with blonde hair and hair. He was shirtless and wore long black boots and dark green pants. What about that hero named Saitama? He's the most dangerous and powerful enemy we'll have to face. Berthold shouted to him. If what you told me about him is true, we got to brainwash that Saitama so he can join us. If it doesn't work, I'll have to turn him into a titan for the rest of his life. He's a bug that I'll squeeze under my boots. Problem solved. The blonde man exhaled in relief. The scouts builded a makeshift weapon named Executioner from Hell. It's an semi-automatic titan extermination weapon constructed in part by Yeager's hardening ability, and the wall. It can safely fell and eliminate titans compared to previous methods. The heroes could easily eliminate the incoming titans, but each one have different duties inside or outside of Wall Sina. Everyone was gathered in a flat open area of Stohes district, including Tatsumaki. Hange wanted to see if Saitama can smash Annie's crystal and get her out of there. While they waiting for the others to arrive, Mikasa was having a huge flashback of memories about her childhood and Eren. When he saved her at the first time he became a titan, her hair waving with the wind peacefully while both of her black irises was on Eren. I know Eren will get back Wall Maria and kill every last titan. With the help of those freaking heroes or not, he will do it. And then, he will see the ocean one day. But even then, I know I won't be able to stop his fate. And no one can't stop it. Even the Baldy with his immense strength. That's okay. I want to be by his side, no matter where he goes. That's my only wish. Eren shifted his gaze and faced her. Hey, Eren, Mikasa said to Eren with a cute tone. Saitama arrived with genos right behind him. They were following Levi and the queen from the start since Saitama was the queen's protector. Hey, genos, where is the other hero and the old dude's disciple? Saitama asked with his blank expression. Blast and Garu has been ordered to defend the people inside the walls. The order came from Queen Historia herself. Only you, me and Terrible Tornado will participating in missions outside of the walls against those titan monsters they informed us about. But sensei, we have faced way much worse. Genos explained honestly. Plus, this world's technology is poor compared to ours, sensei. They doesn't even have electricity. Only candles and torches, but that doesn't concern me. Levi stand with Hange front of the crystal. Everyone was staring Annie inside it. She was giving a look of a dead body. Didn't that short dude said that every hero is here? Saitama questioned his disciple. Sensei, I'm guessing you talking about Captain Levi, and yes, about Garu and Blast. Like I told you, the queen changed the plans. Genos finished and stared the crystal. Annie, let's see if your crystal can take this, Eren stated nervously while Mikasa and Armin were standing right next to him. Sasha came closer to Saitama and kissed his left cheek. Hi, Sasha, the hero said towards her. Hey, lovebirds, enough. Saitama, come here. The experiment will now commence, Levi declared to Saitama, who had placed his arm around Sasha's back. Okay, just after that I'll go eat. Saitama let go of Potato Girl and proceeded towards the crystal. Whoa, it's a body in there, the hero replied, considerably surprised, and asked Levi. She must be really hungry, right? Levi smacked his forehead but took a serious expression again cause the queen was present. Just get her out of there and we'll handle the rest, the captain retorted whilst he pointed the crystal. Let's go, Saitama. Punch the living shit out of this, Hange shouted, excited with blushed cheeks. Okay, there goes. Saitama normal punched the crystal. Nothing happened, but after 10 seconds they all heard cracking sounds coming from it. The crystal shattered entirely and broke into thousands of pieces. Annie fell onto the ground and coughed heavily. Annie, Armin mumbled to Annie while her senses were coming back to her. She stared and saw people she had never encountered before. A green hair and emerald eyes floating chick, a not human looking man with metal arms, and a weird yellow jumpsuit caped baldy. Well, I hope you had a nice sleep, cause now you gonna live in a world of pain. Levi grabbed Annie from her hair and lifted her up, making her grit her teeth and endure the pain. Speak up, bitch. He kicked her stomach so hard she coughed harder and louder. How? That was the first word it came out of her mouth. Levi showed a cocky smirk and pointed Saitama with his thumb behind him. He's responsible for your so unbreakable crystal prison. Annie glared daggers towards Saitama. The hero scratched his armpits in exchange. Why you're so mad at me? You don't even know. Annie cut him off and screamed in anger and hatred. How you broke my hardening skin. Saitama dropped a sweat of confusion. Everyone around approached Annie, but Levi demanded them to stay away. Oi, stay back. She will go to a prison cell. Me and Hans will interrogate her. We must find out for who she, Reiner and Berthold are working for. Annie gave to Captain a shocked expression. How you know about Reiner and Berthold, you bastards? Levi punched her face and said with a mocking tone. Long story, but with some immortals on our side, your comrades doesn't stand a chance. They will get one punch just like your precious crystal got. Take her away. He ordered some random scouts. Yes, sir. They shouted in union. Jean hissed a bit cause of the fact Captain didn't let them speak with Annie. Damn it. I hope when the interrogation is over he will let us go have a chat with her. He replied, determined towards his allies. Hey, Saitama. Historia spoke to the hero. Yeah. Histo Queen. He responded to her with a neutral expression. Let's go to the farm, shall we? Since Saitama was her protector, he couldn't deny her desires. Okay, but first let me fill my stomach, please. Historia nodded with a small nod. Genos walked to his sensei and asked, Sensei, can I come with you? Saitama gave a negative answer to the cyborg. Nah, go with the others and wait for me at the farm. Saitama stated to his disciple, as you wish, Sensei. Genos left with Eren, Mikasa and the others. Historia left with them too and headed towards the farm whilst Saitama was left behind. Sasha found the opportunity and came close enough to whisper into his ear before she leave for the farm. My womb is craving for you. Saitama suddenly stopped and shifted his gaze to face Sasha. She had bright red cheeks and a cute smile towards him. The caped hero's gaze turned serious and placed his hands around her. I don't know if that's satisfying you, but I told you I'll try my best to make you happy. Saitama kissed her gently while she plowed and stuck like glue on him. Some seconds passed. Sasha had reached her limit. She wanted more than just a kiss from the invincible hero. Let's go somewhere private, she exclaimed to her beloved future husband. Saitama's expression turned neutral again and replied towards Sasha. I'm really hungry right now, plus I must be after Queen. I told her I'll meet them at the farm. I won't forget your request though, Sasha. She smiled. Oh, silly. I'll be with them there too, Sasha stated with a giggle whilst she were watching Saitama walking away. Somewhere else. I do hope that God being send me to the right place. I still remember Tisk. To think I agreed with him. Flashback. God appeared front of Speedo Sound Sonic and extended his giant cosmic dust hand. I know what you desire. I remember he gave me the stone I broke. Sonic, pull out his blade. Who are you? What you want from me? God saw through Sonic's mind and said, I'll transport you where your nemesis is, warrior. I know the desire you have for so long, to defeat him. Sonic felt some drops of sweat falling from his forehead. Fine, give me there, he stated, determined towards God. End of flashback. I agreed. And after that I broke the stone he gave me. I ended up here, into this new world. Saitama, I will chase you till the end. Sonic thought to himself, determined, while he took a glance around him to see he was surrounded by abandoned and wrecked houses. Where am I? Where is Saitama? Sonic started investigating a little bit more to find a familiar wrecked house with blood everywhere. I wonder who did this and how. Saitama, no, he's not that brutal. He focused his gaze on the house a little more and mumbled. I can't imagine who was living here before and how he or she ended up dead. He was front of Eren Yeager's house in Wall Maria into Shiganshina district. Bystander. 2 months later. Hey, you wait right there. Historia shouted at 2 orphans and run after them. Isn't this? Jean was about to say, but Armin answered for him. Yeah, not quite the queen I was expecting. And it's only been 2 months since she was crowned. Seems like she's better suited to run an orphanage. Jean retorted to Armin. She's been here almost every day. Do you know what the people are calling her? The cattle farming goddess, in a good way, of course. Saitama will gain a title name too today, Armin stated. Interesting. So we've finally got a goddess that is being protected by an invincible bald man and 4 other superhumans, huh? Jean gave a goofy smile and said mockingly to Eren and Armin. At this rate, no one will remember the chump who plugged up Trost. Yeah. One of the reasons Historia decided to become queen was... to do all this. Eren replied calmly. This, meaning... Armin asked, taking care of the orphans and needy from the underground to the edge of the walls. Since he was raised underground, the captain supported her, too. When people need help, she said she'll come with Saitama to their rescue, no matter who or where. That's what Historia wants to do. Eren finished and Historia approached them. Oh, you're slacking again. With Saitama and Genos, commanders with Levi, including Saitama, Genos, Garou and the S-class heroes were gathered inside of a big office. They were figuring out a hero title name for Saitama, since he could defeat anyone in one punch. Everyone had documents of Saitama's powers and battles. You fought the Colossal and the Armored Titan. Pixis asked, quite surprised while he was scratching his mustache. Yeah, they were very weak if you ask me. Saitama responded honestly. In these 2 months the scouts informed Garou and the S-class heroes about the Titans, the Shifters and their enemies, Ryuner and Berthold. HMPH. They won't last a minute against me, Tatsumaki exclaimed whilst she buffed her cheeks and crossed her arms together. We know terrible tornado. We just doesn't know their location yet, they hiding well. For now, Erwin retorted to the East Spur. I will break their bones when we'll find them. Garou rescripted with a smirk, you can't come with us in an expedition, Killer Wolf, Queen Historia had decided. You and Blast to stay and defend the people in Walsina, don't you remember 2 months ago when she crowned? Levi stated with his calm expression towards Garou. Tisk, it's boring as hell, I hope I'll find a chance to break some bad guys. Blast placed the documents on the table in reply, making everyone to shift their gazes on him. Like Saitama said before, these titans are very weak against us heroes. You don't need to send soldiers in expeditions risking their lives. You can simply sending 3 or even 4 of us, and the job will be a success. The number 1 hero exclaimed with his heroic smile planted on his face. That's correct, Blast. However, we're not here for that. Hange answered to Blastoy, 4 eyes. He's right. Erwin, why we have to sacrifice our men since we possess immortals? Levi's gaze shifted towards Erwin who was holding his chin. Blast and Garou will be occupied with the protection of the citizens. We can only count on Saitama, Genos and Terrible Tornado, Erwin explained, making everyone to stay silent in the room for a few seconds. Me and Sensei can handle whatever they thrown at us, Genos stated, determined. HMPH. Because I'll be with you that doesn't mean I'll need your help. Tatsumaki replied, angry. I found it, Darius shouted and smacked the documents on the table. Since Saitama can defeat everything in one punch, his title will be One Punch Man. The regiment commanders thought about it and agreed. It's perfect, Erwin replied and resumed with a serious expression. You 3 will be with us, Terrible Tornado, Genos and One Punch Man. Saitama raised an eyebrow and asked, we'll go outside of the walls. Levi smacked his forehead and shook his head left and right. Yes, Saitama, we will retake Wall Maria and uncover the Titan's origins. Erwin answered to the caped Baldy. One Punch Man it is then, huh? I would like to see if you have a strong opponent against you. Will you take him out in one punch? Let's spar someday, you and me, Saitama. Blast stated to the caped hero. Yeah, okay. But now that's done, I'll go see the others. Saitama stood up from his chair and left the room. Sensei, I'm coming with you. Genos ran right after his master. Erwin gave a smirk and stared at the door. What is it? Pixis asked. Humanity will be free someday. I know, thanks to them and you too. He pointed Blast, Garou and Tatsumaki. We will not stop till humanity in this world is saved. Blast smiled again with cocky eyebrows. Saitama and Genos walk into the tavern to see Eren and the others. They heard Eren talking about something. A nightmare, huh? Saitama and Genos greeted them and sat down. Genos next to Mikasa and Saitama next to Sasha, who she immediately gave him a blow kiss. Hi, Saitama. Genos, Armin said whilst everybody except Sasha and Mikasa waved at them. Mikasa's face was blank and cold. Sasha was busy kissing Saitama's cheek. Okay, Sasha. Give me a lunch break. Saitama's words made her stop and retort. Oops, sorry my love. She didn't separated from next to him though. Saitama-sensei finally got his worthy hero title name. Genos exclaimed towards everyone on the table. And that is? Jean asked with a raised eyebrow. One Punch Man. That's satisfying, I guess. Saitama rebutted and continued, so what you was talking about guys? He grabbed Eren's attention and he continued talking. Listen, Saitama and Genos, with all that's happened, it's been so vague. But who exactly are we fighting against? We doesn't know. Everyone's gazes was on Eren. That is, are titans just people being tormented by some nightmare? For a time, I was one of those titans. He remembered the time he ate his father. Eren, you still have bread and soup left. Save talking for after you've eaten, Mikasa stated with a serious expression. Right, sorry, Mikasa. Eren shook his head down and stared at the food. Saitama was picking his nose and yawned. VERYYYY. Come on man, you can't be serious, even an idiot could understand from the beginning. These titans were actually humans from the first place, Saitama said whilst Genos was writing his words of wisdom in his notebook. Shut up Baldy, Eren can say whatever he wants, and if you got a problem with that, you and I can settle it right now. I don't care if Captain and everyone else is trusting you, I still don't. Mikasa clenched her fist and glared daggers towards Saitama. Genos stood up and aimed Mikasa with his right-hand cannon. He had a killing, intense expression. Listen, spoiled brat, shut up and get lost, or get beat down. Saitama cheered for Genos with his left clenched hand moving up and down. That's it. Yeah. TCH. Go. Back to your own freak world. She shouted and hit her hand on the table. Jean interfered and prevented Genos from killing Mikasa inside the tavern. Oi, calm down. We're all in the same team. And hey Eren, I swear that's all you do lately. Mumbling shit to yourself, when you should be trying to remember that one guy you saw, right, in the cavern when those memories came back. That guy in the scouts who you think met your dad. Eren spoke after Jean's surprised yeah. That day, I'm pretty sure he was with my dad. Eren drank from his beer and resumed. He's gotta know something. The thing is, though, I feel like I've met the guy somewhere. You mean not Dr. Yeager, but you, yourself? Armin asked Eren. I think so. Smack your head and see if you can remember, Saitama said while he was resting on his right hand. Sasha kissed his cheek and say, I was about to say that. Saitama's right twerp. You might remember if you stopped holding hands with Historia for once. Get a headbutt from the commandant, Jean declared, making Eren to hold his head and remember something important. If that helped me remember, I'd Suddenly Eren stooped up from the table and took everyone's gazes. The Cadet Corps Commandant, Keith Sadius. They went back to where they started, before Saitama arrived in their world. Everyone were riding horses excluding Saitama, Genos and Tatsumaki. Matching with the horses was a routine for the heroes now. Before Erwin, he was the 12th commander of the scout regiment. It's been a long while since I've seen him, Hange explained. HMPH, I ain't got all day, Tatsumaki stated furiously. They arrived to the open area where all the cadets were training to become soldiers. Eren approached Sadies from behind. Commandant Sadies. Sadies turned his head to face them all. He saw Levi, Hange, Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Sasha who was hiding behind Saitama, Genos and a floating green curved hair woman. Eren saluted him by placing his right hand on his heart. They sat on a table. Sasha, Saitama and Genos were standing. I'm seeing some of the heroes, but what's wrong, Brass? Not sitting, Sasha shouted behind Saitama's back. No, I am quite fine standing behind here. Sadies continued staring at Sasha. She was being behind Saitama for protection. If I recall, back in the day, I always used to call you in here to chew you out. And it's only been a handful of months. I hardly recognize you all anymore, except for those three. In the previous 2 months I heard rumors about some supernatural humans that can go head-on against titans. Saitama was ready to reply but Hange came first. Commander Sadies. Rather, Commandant. With preparations to retake Wall Maria underway, perhaps you can guess what brings us here today. Sadies and Eren made eye contact. Then he said, Eren, you resemble your mother so much. However, the fangs lurking deep in your eyes are surely your father's. Eren stooped up from the chair and demanded, tell me about him. Everything you know. Sadies spoke with a low voice. I know nothing. In the grand scheme of things, however, I can tell you a story utterly useless to humanity. The story of my past, as a mere bystander. 20 years ago, Wall Maria, in front of the gates of Shiganshina, he was there. He began telling them the tale of his younger days and about Grisha Yeager, how he became a doctor, how he married Carla and made Eren, and how Sadies found Eren inside the forest after he ate his father. In Wall Maria Shiganshina district, Sonic was staring the sky on a roof. Hey, Sonic, come join us. Reiner shifted his head up and stated to Sonic, I'm not interested, leave me alone. Reiner retorted nervous towards Sonic. Hey, it's been 2 months since we met and fought. I know you doesn't care about us but, come don't be like that. The armored titan shifter extended his hand, grabbing Sonic's attention. I'm not interested in joining forces with weak shells like you. The only thing I know except for wanting Saitama is that the weak spot of the titans are their napes and about 9 humans that can turn into titans, each other with different power. You have the armored titan power, the black hair man has the colossal titan, and the blonde beard old man has the controlling power. Reiner cleared his throat and said that's correct, and don't you remember what I promised to you after our fight? Sonic mumbled. Flashback 2 months before. Who is that? Reiner. Berthold shouted, pointing Sonic, who was front of Yeager's house. Well, he doesn't seem from around here. Ryuner tried to learn where he's from and how he ended up here. I want to see if he says the truth, the shirtless man declared while him and Berthold were watching from the other side. Ryuner stand behind him, but Sonic instantly turned around and faced him. Hey, identify yourself, Ryuner shouted. He saw a slim young man with an androgynous appearance. His long black hair was normally tied up in a top knot, and bangs fall over his face. Ryuner saw a noticeable feature on that stranger. It was his purple marks underneath his large gray eyes. The man was wearing a tight black bodysuit highlighted by metal plating on his shins, arms, shoulders, chest, and waist, as well as a long purple scarf that falls to his legs. Who the hell are you? Where's Saitama? Sonic pull out his blade. Ryuner got confused and shocked. Wait a second. You and Saitama are allies. Not even in the slightest. I'm his biggest enemy. Speedo sound Sonic. Sonic holded his sword grip tighter. We are his enemies too. We can combine our power to deal with him. He is protecting someone we want. We want? Wait a second. ... You look similar to him and your voice is exactly the same. Please help us and we'll make you one of our proud warriors. Sonic gave his childlike smile in reply. I ain't working with weaklings as you. Get lost. Ryuner walked closer and answered with a threateningly tone. I'm afraid I can't do that. How we know you're not a spy then? You must die. Another reason for that is because you look similar and sound exactly like Eren. Ryuner bit himself and turned into the armored titan. Thea. Sonic unleashed a creepy giggle and attacked the armored titan. In a couple of Atoscons, Sonic was standing on top of Ryuner's shoulder, ready to stab him with his sword. Armor. The armored titan attempted to grab him, but he was very slow compared to Sonic. He saw the ninja standing front of him again. You're too slow, big man. You can't keep up with my superhuman speed and agility. The modern ninja exclaimed with an insane smile planted on his face. No response from the armored titan. If you are too confident in your fight but lose, the result will always be the same. Sonic retorted to Ryuner before he attacks again. Exploding shuriken. Sonic shouted and throwed a shuriken on the armored titan. It exploded on Ryuner's body and broke some of his armor. Ryuner shouted inside his mind. GRRR. What kind of ultra weapon is that can break my armor so easily? That man is the second one that can destroy my armor after Saitama. Found your weakness, huh? How about this? Hail of carnage. Sonic throwed a hail of exploding shuriken, causing destruction to their surroundings. It destroyed completely the armor around Ryuner's body and made him fall down to the ground. Berthold flew and intervened. He stand in front of the armored titan and reply towards the ninja. Stop. Please, don't kill Ryuner. We don't have the time to deal with a powerful foe like you. We already have problem with Saitama. Tisk. Fucking weaklings. Stay away and don't even try to attack me again, or else you will find your body missing its head. Sonic walked away from them and lowered his sword, placing it back to its case. Don't you want to know about this world? Sonic turned back again and stared the mysterious man. For you, what you want? Sonic said. The man cleaned his glasses and answered calmly. Oh me, nothing, I'm just trying to give you information about this world. What you mean? How you know I'm not from this world? Sonic asked, quite surprised. I saw some kind of a green portal opening, and you came from inside it. It's obvious you are not from here, the man declared. Zeke-san, you saw such thing? Berthold asked with utter shock. The man nodded. What I need to know, old man? Sonic questioned him again. There are creatures in this world called titans. They eat humans like you and us. They can be killed if you cut off their nape. And there are 9 people that can turn into a titan with a unique power, each one of them. You seeing 3 of them front of you. The man explained to the modern ninja. You 3 can turn into a titan, eh? Like that guy I just fought? Sonic asked and pointed Ryuner, who came out of the nape exhausted. Yes, I possess the power to control the titans. Ryuner from here can transform into the armored titan and Berthold into the colossal one. He pointed both of his warriors. Hey, Sonic, I promise you, if you stay with us here, Saitama will come along with our enemies. Ryuner said in a miserable tone towards Sonic. I'll wait as long as it takes to fight him again. Sonic turned around and walked away. The mysterious man's gaze shifted upon Berthold. He is not with our enemies, he's just confused. Berthold asked the man nervously, isn't he going to cause us trouble? The shirtless man's gaze shifted towards Sonic and stated relaxed. Nah, he might take out this Saitama for us. Don't let this chance go to waste. We can't fully trust him, but he's the best choice we have right now. He touched his glasses. End of flashback. Yeah, I remember what you promised to me. Saitama will come here, but when? Sonic shouted furiously towards Ryuner. Him and the pitiful scouts will try to reclaim the wall. There are 3 walls. This is Wall Maria, we're inside right now but got destroyed by the Titans. The second one is Wall Rose. And the third one Wall Cena. Yeager explained to Sonic. Alright, I'll keep my eyes open for these scouts. Sonic ended the conversation and disappeared from Yeager's sight. The scout regiment hurry their preparations for retaking Wall Maria. While Garu and Blast will defend Wall Cena, Saitama, Tatsumaki and Genos will go on this hard mission. There came one more thing to shape humanity's fate, and Saitama's not-so-well excitement had been found. All the heroes including Saitama were inside an office with Hange, Erwin, Pixis, Levi, and they was waiting Darius to arrive. He entered the room. Sorry I'm late. Darius strode toward them. He sat down on the chair and crossed his fingers together. Well, have we discovered what's in the container? Darius asked curiously whilst Saitama was toying with a small book by flipping the pages repeatedly. The thing is, with our technology, I'm afraid we can't dig much deeper. Like we've heard from Eren and Historia, it seems to originate from some sort of human bodify fluid. Hange resumed her hypothesis seriously. However, it vaporizes when exposed to air, making analysis difficult. Whoever made it must have had technology far superior to ours. It turns whoever inject himself with it into a titan, so I highly doubt it came from your world. Hange pointed and forced Genos to speak in a calm tone. Indeed, in our world the monsters was transforming the people into monsters with some purple orbs called monster cells. I never saw such method before in our world. The cyborg finished his theory. I'm sure about that, Genos. Now if it was the Reyes family the ones responsible for that, I can't imagine how. Hange shifted her gaze back to the injection. Everyone was staring at it except Saitama, who was half asleep. Okay, the chair. Pixis spoke cleverly. In that case, instead of tampering with it, we should use it to achieve our current objective. You can use us, idiots. Tatsumaki shouted with her egoistical expression towards the commanders. Her green aura glowed brighter around her body. Calm down, terrible tornado. It's their decision about the serum to make. Blast holded her hand and calmed her down. HMPH. She shook her head away. Thanks, Blast. Well, who do we entrust it to? Erwin, to you. Darius' gaze shifted to Erwin, who was standing still. No, I'm no more than a wounded soldier. This box belongs with one of our elite soldiers or one of the heroes who has the best odds of surviving. Levi cut him off. That's the guy right there. Someone wake him up. Levi pointed. Saitama, the caped hero, were sleeping on the table. Genos patted his master and woke him up. Sensei, wake up. Oh, Awaji Genos. Are we done? Saitama asked with neutral expression. Saitama, you belong in Levi's squad and possess immense strength and unlimited speed. You must take this burden. Erwin explained to Saitama by placing the small box near him. Look, I'm not the guy that keep weird gizmos. I cannot secure the protection of that small thingy. Saitama stated to everyone inside the room. I completely understand why you say that, Saitama. In that case, Erwin shook his head towards Levi. Levi, would you keep it? If it's an order, just say so. Why even ask the question? Levi exclaimed to him. We can't predict in what situation we'll have to use this. We'll be relying on you to make a decision on the fly. Judging when and who to use it on will be for you to choose. Can we leave that to you? Erwin took a question from Levi instead of an answer. If this dream of yours comes true, what will you do then? I don't know. I won't until it happens, Erwin stated to the captain with a determined expression. I see. All right, I'll do it. Levi closed the small box and took it. By the way, I'd like to unveil that work of mine soon. Have you given it thought? Darius shook his gaze to Pixis. You still haven't given up on that. If the public saw that repulsive display, trust in the military would hit rock bottom. Pixis replied whilst he stared the heroes and then back to Darius. You don't know art when you see it. Darius answered. Oi, Saitama, Genos, Tatsumaki. With me. Levi walked out of the room with the 3 heroes obeyed to his order, following him outside. Oh, we'll eat now. Yes, Captain, count of me and my sensei. I'm surrounded by idiots. HMPH. Few hours later, after Saitama filled up his stomach and took a well-deserved nap, him, Tatsumaki and Genos followed Levi inside of a room. There were few more random people there. Erwin and Hange came after with information about Yeager, Eren's father. Erwin began the conversation by placing the paper on the table. In other words, Eren's father, Yeager. Is likely a human who came from outside the walls. Hange spoke next. Just like Annie, Reiner, and Berthold, he possessed the power of the Titans. But different from those three, he was supportive of humanity within the walls. One of the random guys talked back, "You are some of the heroes, huh? Amazing. Humanity is counting on you to destroy those Titan bastards." Now Hange, if Grisha was so interested to know about the scouts and such, we could have used more of that support of his. I wonder, from the moment he entered the walls, he was searching for the royal family all alone, I'm sure. Hange continued while she shifted her gaze to Erwin. And that's not something you do without incredible resolve. That same father wanted to show his 10-year-old son, eager to join the scouts, the basement of their house. On death's door, he said the truth of it all was, in the basement. What in the world do you think is down there? She finished and asked Erwin with curiosity. Before he say anything, Saitama raised an arm and asked, "Can I have a cup of tea?" Levi smirked and mumbled, "You got taste, Saitama." The captain gave to Saitama his cup of black tea. "Thanks a lot," the hero retorted while he drank a tiny bit of the tea. Erwin replied back to Hange, "Things which mustn't be said. No, things Grisha Yeager couldn't say, even if he wanted to. That which the first Rias king wiped from our memories. Memories of our world. ... is what I hope, but pondering about it here won't accomplish much." He stared the other men. "The preparations finished today. The operation to retake Wall Maria starts in 2 days. Want to know what's in the basement? Let's go see for ourselves. Isn't that what scouts do?" Erwin stated and encouraged everyone excluding Saitama, who was bored to death. "Let all your squads know they won't participate in the operation." Erwin was determined. "Are you crazy, Erwin? You can't go by yourself." One of the random men said, "I won't be alone. I'm just clearly saying I won't need more than 10 people to complete this mission." Erwin gave a slight smile and shifted his fully attention on Saitama, Genos, and Tatsumaki. The cyborg answered to them with his orange glowing eyes. "Yes, don't risk your men's lives for nothing. Let us heroes deal with the threats that awaits us out there. Me and my sensei are more than enough to retake your wall. We even have terrible tornado from here." Genos extended his arm and pointed Tatsumaki, who was floating. "I don't need your help nor eggheads. Plus your well-named soldiers are just weakling hindrances for me." Tatsumaki shouted arrogantly. "I hope you're not just talk heroes." One of them replied nervous and left the room with Hange, leaving the heroes, Levi and Erwin, inside. Levi stand up on the door with his hands in his pockets. "What is it, Levi?" Erwin asked. "It's a bit hasty, but what will you do after we retake Wall Maria thanks to them?" Levi meant the heroes to Erwin. "I'd guess you will put them defending just like the other two, huh? But after that?" Erwin's eyes widen moderately and speak. "Eliminating threats. Outside the walls, there seems to be someone hoping Titans will eat us all. Of course, the answer to who is in the basement, I imagine. But fortunately this someone doesn't know we possess immortals on our side called heroes." Erwin's gaze shifted back to the 3 heroes. "I'm asking this because you might not live that long. You can't exactly move like you used to. Let Hange call the shots. You'll just be dead weight. Let the good news come to you. We'll tell the others I argued till you gave in." "No, that's actually what I intend." "Fine with that." Levi waited Erwin's answer with particular interest. I'm fine being good. Use me as boss." Saitama cut him off and came in the conversation. "No dude, no one will be used as bait. Don't be stupid. I can deal with those Titans with Genos and the sassy child, I guess. I'm way older than you, Baldy." Tatsumaki shouted furiously. "Heroes, listen to me." Erwin was sharing his gaze to Levi and the heroes before he continued. "It's true, this operation will be dangerous cause with your powers. Battles at that level would be deadly for anyone involved, but to humanity, it's more important than anything else. That's why I've gone to such lengths. This is all my plan. Onepunchman, Genos, terrible tornado. All humanity will counting on you to complete this operation." Erwin finished and placed his hand on his knee. "Erwin, the operation to retake Wall Maria will proceed with you weeping here. It'll be a bitch to get to the toilet though," Levi retorted. Erwin released a small laugh. "I'd like to avoid that. What you're saying is right. A wounded soldier should stay off the battlefield and let the heroes do the dirty job. However, there will come a moment when we learn the truth of our world. ... and I must be there for it." Levi took some seconds to process Erwin's words and reply back. "Is it that important to you? More than your legs?" "Yes." Levi asked again. "More than humanity's victory?" Erwin gave the same answer. "Yes." Silence kept in the two for 10 seconds. After that Levi stared down and spoke. "I see." He grabbed the door's grip and shook his head back. "Erwin, I'll trust your judgment. Saitama, Genos, and Tatsumaki with me. The captain ordered the three heroes. HMPH fine. Oh, okay, let's go. Right behind you, Captain Levi. All of them stated with their own answer and followed Levi outside of the room. One day later, go see your animal comrades. Levi replied to them. HMPH, I don't belong with those pigs. I'll go see Blast. She flee away, leaving Saitama and Genos with Levi. Oh, why everyone's screaming? Saitama asked Levi. Because they eating meat, that's why. Tusk idiots. The captain left Genos and his master. Let's go see the others. Genos. Yes, sensei. Saitama opened the door to see all the tables full of meat. Everyone was arguing who will get the big pieces, and some others were already devouring huge bites. Man, I'm hungry. Oh, look at Sasha. Saitama saw Connie holding Sasha and begging her to calm down cause she had a massive piece of meat in her mouth. She was truly eating like a wild animal. Sasha, stop. I don't want to have to kill you. Jean took the piece of meat from Sasha's mouth and shouted, you can't eat the whole thing alone. Sasha screamed and bit Jean's fingers. They're eating me, eating me, eating me. Connie screamed to her Sasha. That mean is Jean. Have you lost your mind? Oi, calm down please, Saitama exclaimed, making everyone stare at him for a few seconds before they resume eating. Heh, even One-Punch-Man is hungry, eh? Most of the people thought for Saitama. Sasha let go of Jean's hand and stared Saitama, who was now holding the big piece of meat she was trying to eat earlier. Here, eat. Saitama gave it to her and she bites slowly and gentle. Good girl. The hero calmed her down in an instant. See guys, don't treat her like animal. Saitama patted slowly her head. Your hair is so soft, I can feel it even with those gloves on. One-Punch-Man stated towards Sasha. After 10 whole minutes, Sasha finally devoured the entire piece. She came closer to Saitama, who was sitting with Genos next to her. Thank you. Saitama. You do care. She grabbed Saitama's head and kissed his mouth without hesitation. Everyone around the table except Genos and Mikasa felt disgust and almost puked cause of the fact her breath had the smell of meat. It's not worse than the black hair girl's saliva though, Saitama thought to himself and stared Mikasa, who had a blank expression towards him, and Genos. While Saitama was with Sasha, Eren and Connie were talking about their encounter with Berthold 4 months before. 4 months, huh? Eren mumbled, but to think, in just 4 months, we're in Squad Levy. And we met those amazing heroes like Saitama and Genos. We climbed the ranks in a flash with them. Connie replied and gave a smirk to Eren. It's cause you're a genius. Eren made a joke with Connie. Damn straight I am. Let's eat before our food gets cold. Eren and Connie returned back to the table with the others. So it's true, what you told us, Genos? Jean questioned the demon cyborg with slightly disbelief befalling him. Yes, no men from your scout regiment will participate and risk their lives in this operation. It will be only me, my sensei, Terrible Tornado, and your squad probably, with Captain Levi and Commander Erwin being with us. Then you heroes will have some sort of plan. That's good. You're not like the most useless of all who only knows how to charge in without thinking. Jean grabbed Eren's attention. Jean, who do you mean by that? Jean reply, intimidating who else but you, you suicidal maniac. Eren have a big smile and retort. Actually, I found something out recently. I'm quite a normal person, you know. So if you're saying that to me, that just makes you a coward, Jean. Oh wait, I got it, you can hide behind Saitama, who will protect your weak ass. Take that back, you pig shit. Eren and Jean start arguing and shouted to each other. They delivered some punches, but no one interfered to stop them. Shouldn't we stop them? Saitama asked Mikasa while Sasha was licking his cheek with her tongue. Her face was blushed quite a lot and her eyes were closed. Saitama didn't mind about it though. No, saw Saitama. I think it's fine, Mikasa responded. Both her and Saitama had neutral expressions. Plus it was extremely rare she would talk to him without hissing or being angry about his presence. Levi stepped in and knocked them both down. Jean with a kick and Eren with a punch. Oi, you're all too damn rowdy. Go to sleep and clean that up. Everyone shouted in union. Yes, sir. Levi approached Saitama, who hadn't moved an inch thanks to Sasha's licking job. The captain felt disgust seeing such scene. You are fine with this? Levi asked Saitama with crossed hands while Sasha kept licking and kissing Saitama's cheeks. They were smelling like meat. It's not worse than getting spit to the face almost twice or having someone trying to kill you for no reason. She's in love with me and that's the way Sasha's showing it. You can say she's my girlfriend. The hero wanted to see if he will feel anything by letting Sasha doing this. He felt a little bit funny from this. Not much, but that feeling was way better than boredom. You are as weird as her, tisk, never mind. He walk away. Sasha, don't you think this is a bit much? You've been doing this for like 5 minutes. Are the couples doing this for so long? Sasha's tongue returned inside her mouth. Totally, and I could do this all day with you, my love. You can do whatever you want with me. I told you, Saitama, my body wants you so bad. Saitama shrugged and asked Levi, well, okay then, it can't be helped it. Hey, Levi guy, what is it? Can I get that paper towel around your neck so I can clean my face up? Levi understood what he meant and answered angrily. You mean my Corvette? You can forget it. Plus you said it's not that bad. She's your responsibility now, Saitama. Levi left with a small smirk. Okay, never mind. Saitama cleaned his face with his gloves. All while go now, Genos, you coming? The young cyborg answered positively. Yes, sensei. Genos followed his master. Saitama stared Sasha. She was sending him blowing kisses. I'll be waiting for you, my lovely hero. Her face had turned brighter red than before. Saitama and Genos saw Eren, Mikasa and Armin talking while they were sitting on some stairs. They could see the giant wall from there. The view was truly emotional. Saitama and Genos approached them and sat down with them. What are you guys talking about? Saitama asked Eren. It's the sea and the things are out of the walls. The Titan shifter explained to Saitama and Genos. Armin stood up excited and extended his arms. Right, let's start by seeing the sea. Saitama, Genos, don't you wanna see the sea too? Armin asked them while shifting his attention on them. Why not? Instead of doing absolutely nothing, we can go at the beach, I guess. Genos nodded to Armin after Saitama finished his phrase. See guys, even Saitama and Genos know the sea exists. You still doubt that it's real, Eren? You'll see, it does exist. Armin was really excited about the ocean. Alright then, guess we'll have to go see, Eren said, making Armin to make a promise with him. It's a promise, then. You have to. Why, Levi is stalking from the corner, Saitama thought. He knew Levi was hearing the entire conversation way before him and Genos arrive. The next day before sunset. Just before sunset. It's finally time. Eren, Mikasa, Armin, Saitama, Genos and Tatsumaki were on the wall staring at the sun and thinking about the mission. After the scouts saluted with Darius and the others, Erwin came along with Levi and Hange. Only those and a few more like Jean, Connie and Sasha would be with them in this dangerous operation to retake Wall Maria. People were cheering and encouraging the heroes and the few brave scouts. Take back Wall Maria for us, another one shouted to the heroes. The future of humanity is in your hands, heroes. Every civilian had something to say. Captain Levi, thank you for saving our city. One-punch-man, send the Titans back to oblivion, there's where they belong. Genos, burn the giant bastards to ashes. The heroes and the few scouts were hearing and watching from above on the wall. Terrible tornado. Destroy those monsters for us. Scouts and heroes, go and reclaim our territory. Levi mumbled next to Erwin. Someone's got a big mouth. Well, with the commotion we made, of course they'd find out. Hange responded honest. Connie, Jean, Sasha, and Genos shouted together to the people. Yeah, you can count on us. You know we will. As far as I'm aware, this is a first, Erwin stated and raised his arm towards the crowd, releasing a battle cry to encourage them even more. All the citizens screamed with their fisted hands pointing up to them. Erwin equipped his sword and shouted determined to the small unstoppable team they had made together. The final operation to retake Wall Maria ... will now commence. Saitama simply jumped down from the wall, and Tatsumaki levitated everyone else including their horses and placed them on the ground from the other side of the wall. Erwin's determination had reached its climax. He shouted proud. Advance. Him, Levi, Hange and everyone else were riding their horses excluding the three heroes. Tatsumaki were using her power to follow them whilst Saitama and Genos were running next to their horses. Heroes, give everything you've got, Erwin exclaimed to them seriously. I will unleash my rage on those titans. HMPH. Yes, me and my sensei won't fail you, sir. Oh, I want a challenge, but I highly doubt about that. The three heroes answered toward Erwin and resumed their journey to Wall Maria. Wall Maria contained 1/3 of humanity's remaining territory. 5 years ago, when humanity lost this territory from within the remaining 2 walls, they realized that we are not meant to continue living. After all, humanity cannot defeat the Titans alone. That's why a hope ignited their hopes for freedom. Those new individuals called heroes, they came into this cruel world to save humanity and reclaim Wall Maria. Thanks to those supernatural allies, humanity will finally start believing that they deserve to live. The scouts were holding flashlights and walking through a forest at night. The three heroes were right next to them. Genos was using his glowing palm in a radius of 10 meters to light the way. Saitama was trying not to sleep and Sasha helped him a lot with that, while Levi was asking Eren, "We're not at the foot yet. It's almost dawn." Eren holded an information document and read it. "Once we're over this mountain, my hometown Shiganshin is right there." Levi shifted his head forward and kept walking. Good. I really want to see how the reaction of those two fools will be when they see more than just Saitama. the captain stated. Meanwhile, Connie, Jean and Genos were talking about Reiner and Bertholdt. Yeah, these traitors will be ready for us. No, they won't, Jean. They are expecting to see scouts, not powerful heroes. Connie answered back to Jean with a happy face. So we'll go fight other people that have the ability to turn into titans. Genos asked with particular interest and raised eyebrows. Yes, it's a long story, but those two betrayed humanity from the start, way before your sensei arrive. Jean retorted. Saitama, I have a little present for Yaowu. Sasha were joyful towards Saitama. She took his right hand and placed it on her breasts, but the caped hero gave her and everyone else a neutral expression and said, "Oh, look a titan." Jean shouted to his comrades. Saitama's right light up. All the lights including Genos' fire aimed on a titan who was sleeping on a huge rock. False alarm everyone, he's asleep. This lad must not be one of those new types that moves at night. That's too bad. Let him be, Hange stated, and they walked past him. Eren's gaze focused on Saitama and thought, Saitama, what kind of eyesights you possess to see him from that far? How can you see so well in this darkness? Genos came closer to Hange and begun a conversation. You asked us quite much questions when we first arrived in your world. Do you mind explaining to me what is going on with those titans that doesn't move at night? Hange smiled to the cyborg and explained. I'm glad you asked. You see the new type of titan. We think they use that minuscule amount of reflected light to move. Using the new moon was right to move. The old ones wasn't moving at night. You can say they got upgraded. She shifted her gaze to Saitama. Saitama, guarantee we won't have a repeat of before. Oh, okay. Hange continue her explaining to Genos and everyone. That lad may be one of those moonlight titans for all we know. Please, heroes, can you capture one for me someday? Hange gave a smirk and blushed moderately. HMPH, why would we do that? We're not your puppets. Terrible tornado, you have a moment please, Erwin said, grabbing Tatsumaki's attention. What do you want? The Esper questioned him. I know you have your own problems and deeds that need to be taken care of, but can you stop being so arrogant? Erwin scratched his chin with a worried expression. I'm not arrogant, I'm just sick of being surrounded by weaklings. Erwin nodded his head. Understood. Forgive me, but for us it's impossible to thought people like you ever existed. However, here you are. Please, you gotta understand our situation. Terrible tornado. HMPH. Whatever. They ended the conversation. Eren, why are you shaking? You're scared? Armin asked. Well, Eren said loud back to him. I'm not scared. Armin didn't believe him. Huh? You're kidding. Look at your hand. It's cold. My hand's damn freezing. Eren exclaimed to Armin and Mikasa. Really? My whole body's been shaking this whole time. See? Armin extended his hand that was holding the flashlight. It was shaking a lot. Saitama, have you ever been afraid of titans? The blonde asked the hero. No, I have fought way more horrible and powerful monsters. I ain't afraid of those things. Saitama retorted and scratched his armpits. You saying that because society works different in your world, right? And you was born with those awesome powers, right? Cause in this cruel world, everyone's terrified of them. Armin said, forcing Saitama to talk back. Actually, I trained a lot to become this strong. Levi was walking at the front with Hange and Erwin, but he was hearing Saitama's words. You heroes are not afraid of anything cause of your powers. You're not like us, like me. The first time I faced a titan, I couldn't move a muscle. But there I was. And you wasn't there, Saitama. It was way much before you come to us. Armin resumed. It was you, Eren. You pulled me right out of a titan's mouth. How were you able to do something like that? Eren remembered what his childhood friend meant by that. I remembered. ... The time you showed me that book. Up until then, I never once thought about what was outside the walls. I just spent every day staring at the clouds and sky. But then, I heard your story and looked into your eyes. You were seeing an awesome dream. But I had nothing. That's when I knew. I wasn't free. Trapped in a small cage in a huge world. My freedom stolen by those unthinkable fields. When I realized that, I couldn't forgive them. I don't know why, but when it comes to taking back freedom, yes, strength flows through me. Eren holded his hand and turned his gaze to Armin, Mikasa and Saitama. Thanks for that. I'm good now, I bet. By this time next year, we'll be looking at the sea all together with you heroes too. He replied and finished the conversation. Mikasa's eyes widened and stared at their surroundings. I recognize this area. I think we came here for firewood. Genos placed his hand on Mikasa's shoulder and replied with a serious expression. It's good to remember such lovely memories, my ally. I doesn't know about your lives and your pasts much, but we as heroes will try our best to make you feel free again. Mikasa mumbled at Genos next to her. Oi, trails, move with caution, Levi said while they were reaching the wall. I can hear the river, Mikasa replied, and Armin talked right after her. Finally, we're back. The first time since we fled from here, back to our hometown. But now, things will be different with Saitama and the other heroes on our side. Armin whispered as they finally reached the open fields. They could see the abandoned wall Maria. "Oh, I see a hole on the wall," Saitama stated while he was running next of the scouts. "It's the colossal titan. He did this. Do you remember what I told you, Saitama?" Erwin questioned the hero. A little bit," Saitama said while his gaze was on the wall. "Be on guard for titans hiding in the shadows. Our operation begins now." Levi squad switched to ODM gears. Heroes don't hesitate to destroy any threats. Erwin gave orders whilst he was riding his horse. The screws propelled themselves on the wall and made it to the other side. Saitama jumped all the way on top of the wall whilst Tatsumaki used her power to levitate genos and reach their teammates. Erwin gave instructions about their goal. "There's 2 gates we must seal, the inner and outer. With that, Shiganshina will be isolated. We'll exterminate any titans left inside." Levi equipped his blades while he was standing still on top of his horse saddle like a badass. "If the enemy knows our plan, they'll go straight for Eren, but we'll have them a big surprise by having all the 3 heroes guarding Eren. They doesn't know about Genos and terrible tornado. However, Saitama is more than enough to keep them busy and give Eren time to plug the outer gate." At long last, Eren, Mikasa and Armin were standing on top of Wall Maria to see their hometown destroyed. Eren's hands were shaking tremendously. "Don't stop." Levi run past them and shouted, "Head for the outer gate. Heroes be Eren's shield." "Roger," Eren said, making the 3 heroes to follow him. Genos shout determined. "Count on us." "Oh, Genos don't take it too seriously." HMPH. Armin noticed something on the wall. "This is ... the remaining of a fire." He raised his sword up and made Erwin stare at him. "They're here, and close." Bertholdt and Reiner. Armin thought nervously. Eren and Mikasa were flying together with their ODM gears while Saitama was Parker running on the side of the wall with ease. The Titan shifter thought with a depressed expression. "My house is right around there. That's where we left everything behind." He stared back to see Mikasa with a serious expression and Saitama having a blank expression next to her following without breaking a sweat. Genos were following them from underneath of the wall with Tatsumaki. "It's okay, I'll take it all back." Eren though serious. Hange was with Levi on the wall. She knew something was horribly off about this silence. "Not a single titan in sight. But we have to keep going," Levi reminded her. She pull out a flare gun. "Yeah, there's no reason to call it off." She shoot towards the sky and alerting everyone including the heroes. Eren thought with his determination being maximum. "I can do this. No, we can do this. Because we've all been special since the day we were born. We're free." Eren flew on top of the wall and after he did a flip he bite himself and turned into a titan. He successfully plugged the outer gate of Wall Maria with his hardening ability. However, it wasn't over. "Heroes, don't let your guard down. Keep on the lookout. That's for you too." Hange pointed Levi's squad and the heroes. Mikasa brought Eren back on the wall with Hange and the others. "How's your ODM gear?" Mikasa asked him. "It's fine. But I did manage to lose my cloak." Mikasa wrapped her cloak around him. "Thanks, The hole." Captain Levi shouted success. Genos said, firing a blast on the sky to inform the scouts that the hole got plugged up. "We did it." "Eren, are you okay?" Hange approached him. "No problems here. I'm ready like we trained." Eren replied to Hange, "We'll head for the inner gate. While we're on the move, heroes remember to cover Eren at all costs." She shouted. Everyone was running on the wall, the 3 heroes right behind Eren. Saitama was staring at the abandoned city. "And I thought my apartment was poor." Erwin was from the other side of the wall with Sasha, Jean and Connie. The outer gate was a success. "Still, it's odd. There's no attack coming." "I don't understand. On the contrary, we've not seen a single titan so far," Erwin said cautiously. "Maybe they are afraid of Saitama." "Commander, maybe they gave up." Jean answered calmly. "No, it can't be that simple. Something strange is going on here. Be on caution." Erwin ordered them. Armin came next to them and say, "I looked into it. I'm pretty sure someone was camping." The pot was cold and lights were scattered on the ground. They were drinking something like black tea. Also, there were 3 cups with drops of a black liquid in it. At the least, there were 3 people atop of the wall. Jean shouted confused. "Th3 you say?" Erwin remained calm and asked Armin, "Was the metal pot completely cool?" "Yes, I find it odd." "Agreed. However, I found this metal-looking device too. It looks like some sort of a blade." Armin gave to Erwin a ninja shuriken. It had some purple marks on it. "What is that now?" Connie screamed in frustration. "Connie, what I'm saying is that our enemies are hiding here somewhere." Armin answered toward him. "We don't know yet about this weird device, but locate the hiding enemies is our priority now." Armin, with that brain of yours, you've saved us from disaster countless times. Believe me, Commander, I'm nothing compared to the heroes, and just a weak soldier and nothing more. Armin responded to Erwin. Saitama came with Genos behind him. Saitama, Genos, what are you two doing here? You should be with Eren. Jean shouted angry at them. Genos walked forward and retorted serious. I scanned the entire area for hostiles. I did found something. You can say someone. The cyborg pointed the spot he found the human suspect. It was inside the wall. Saitama, you go check it out. Erwin ordered him and the hero did so. What the hell is a guy doing in the wall anyway? Saitama said and took off a huge stone piece from the wall. Hello, Yeager. Now you live like cavemen. Tisk, bald bastard. Yeager came out of the wall furiously and pushed his sword on Saitama's chest. Saitama avoided the blade incredibly fast. It only got a little bit of his white cape. TSK, where are you? Saitama appeared behind him. I'm right here. The hero slammed Yeager and sended him down to the ground. A lot of his bones broke upon impact and forced him to transform into the armored titan who was now laying on the ground. Yeager, Armin screamed angry and nervous. Sensei, Genos jumped down to come face to face with the armored titan. They saw transformation lighting behind them. Erwin stared surprised to see dozens of titans holding positions outside of the wall. At the middle was the beast titan who was kneeled down. Erwin, Genos and Saitama are down there with Yeager, Levi said to Erwin while Saitama and Genos were facing the armored titan inside of Wall Maria. Yeager hardened his hands and feet. He prepared to run towards the cyborg and his master. Sensei, let me handle that titan. You must go help the others. Okay, I'm trusting you, Genos. Saitama jumped back atop of the wall next to Erwin and Levi's squad. Who the hell is that? I never saw him before. Is that metal around him? Forget it, I'll just crash him. Yeager shouted inside his mind whilst he charged on Genos. The young cyborg took a stance and activated his incineration cannons. I got you. Incineration cannons. He unleashed the shot on the armored titan. Public information about Genos. Genos' palms contain ports which allow him to fire large and powerful blasts of heat, fire or plasma across significant distances. A blast from his palms are powerful enough to obliterate a multi-story building. The blast of heat made impact with the armored titan's body. Yeager got nervous and shocked. What the fuck is that? Who? How? Impossible. I must retreat. My body can't handle this heat. The armored titan fell back scared. You're not going anywhere, monster. I'm about to eliminate you. Genos raised his arm menacingly at the armored titan's shifter. Erwin shouted to the heroes and Levi's squad. Listen, let Genos primary deal with the armored titan. Roger. Hange, why didn't he signal to assist Genos? What's he thinking? Eren asked nervously. He's watching the enemy's movements. Because Yeager and friends prepared some sort of grand welcome for us. Too bad they will fail miserably cause we have prepared 3 immortals against those fools. Hange replied and stared the beast titan. Erwin saw behind the ape titan another titan who was standing on all 4 and had luggage on his saddle. That quadruped type is carrying luggage on its saddle. Erwin stated and told inside his mind. It wasn't one of those that just transformed. In which case, is that the enemy's scout? If it took notice of our approach and informed Yeager, that must mean. The commander snapped out of it and said, that quadruped type down there is an intelligent titan. No, there might even be others. The beast titan screamed and hit the ground with his hand, shattering the area around him. The titans of 3 and 2 meters began running towards the wall. They're moving. Multiple 2 to 3 meters approaching. Hange shouted to Saitama and everyone else. Erwin's pav. It's just like the raid at Utgard Castle. They'll go after the horses first. Their primary objective is to capture Eren, but, to argue of that, they'll take away our only escape option. No, they doesn't know about terrible tornado. We can escape even without horses, but since we possess immortals we must use them however we can. Right now, the fact that all those larger titans are staying in formation is proof that their only purpose is to cage us in. Armin shouted scared toward Erwin. Commander, Genos successfully injured the armored titan. He's retreating back. But we still don't know where Bertholdt is. Yeah, I know, Erwin said calmly and his gaze stuck on the beast titan. At this point, what I fear most, is that if the heroes die, we'll be as good as dead. We have no troops nor strong weapons as the heroes. I'm begging for the plan to work. Levi got tired of waiting and replied. Are you finally ready to say something? I could have had breakfast during the wait. Erwin turned around and ordered everyone. Levi squad, go assist Genos with the armored titan. Employ the thunder spears at your own discretion. Archive your objective whatever it takes. This moment, this battle, the survival of humanity depends on it. Once more, for humanity. ... Give your hearts. Yes, sir. They all shouted in union, and flew off to help Genos whilst Levi and Saitama were behind Erwin. Wait, Saitama, Levi. I did say Levi squad, but I need you two to stay, Saitama and Levi. What is it, Erwin? You don't want us to protect Eren? Levi asked with a serious expression. That's right. And now the real deal. Erwin pointed his blade towards the beast titan. Saitama, Levi, I need you two to strike down every single titan, and that one over there. You're the only ones I can trust to take on the beast titan. Understood. I hope he's strong cause it's really boring. Saitama and Levi jumped down and prepared to strike against the beast titan's army. Yeager was lost in his thoughts. How did that bastard Saitama find me in the first place? Armin, was it you? No, it doesn't matter. What matter now is that I need to get rid of that unknown individual. Who the hell is he? How is he able to manipulate fire? Damn it. Eren transformed and grabbed Yeager's attention. Eren, why did he show up unprovoked? They should be painfully aware that he's our primary objective. Now I understand. It must be Saitama near and protecting him. Fuck, his strength doesn't make any sense. Eren start running away while Yeager had his gaze on him. Oi, big walking rock. Eyes on me, Genos said and launched himself against Yeager. Shit, I must deal with that fucker right now. Eren is planning to flee south and escape over the wall with Saitama covering his back. Mikasa and the rest of Levi's squad equipped the thunder spears and kept some distance between Genos and Yeager. With Saitama and Levi, Saitama and the short captain were slaughtering the 3 and 2 meter titans from outside Wall Maria, Saitama with his fists, and Levi with his blades. The captain stood on top of a roof and shouted to Saitama, Saitama, clean up the small ones already. Do it before the beast titan moves. Don't you dare die, hero. Saitama gave to Levi a neutral expression. You should be worried about your own self, man. I got this. Saitama exclaimed toward Levi whilst he was watching the beast titan. Erwin remembered his past and said inside himself, when I was a cadet, I told the others about my father's theory, which I also believed, and that once I was a scout, I would prove it. But after I joined the scouts, I stopped talking about it for some reason. No, that's wrong. It wasn't some reason. I had realized something. That only I was fighting for myself. That only I had a dream I wanted to see. Erwin was thinking about it while Saitama was destroyed titans at the far background. Before I knew it, I was giving people orders and inspiring my comrades, saying they should give their hearts to humanity. Thus, I fooled my comrades, fooled myself, and upon a mountain of their corpses, I now stand. And yet, the basement lingers at the back of my mind. Even if the heroes fail and die, I might be able to reach the basement before I die. The basement Grisha Yeager left behind. The truth of our world. Now, Eren, Genos got out of the way and the attack titan appeared behind the armored titan. He had hardening skin around his fingers and punched Yeager's face so hard he shattered it entirely. I got you, bastard. You can't escape now. Eren shouted in his mind with gritted teeth. Flashback in the forest at night. So you want to take him down? Genos asked Eren. Yes, I need you to injure him at first, then you'll give me a signal and I'll come to end him once and for all. That piece of shit Yeager, Eren stated and took confirmation by Genos' nod. What are those things for? Saitama questioned Mikasa while he were scratching his head. They called thunder spears. Don't you remember what you did when Hange introduced them to us? She stated seriously to Saitama. Not really. I don't remember a lot of things in my life. Mikasa smacked her head and kept walking in the dark forest. Forget it, Baldy. End of flashback. Those experiments paid off. Eren were punching and smashing armored titan's armor. He had cornered him on a roof and he was punching repeatedly. These fists are all I need to fight. Eren punched him again and collided his hardened fist into armored titan's face, breaking his left eye and injuring him fatally. By focusing the hardening on one spot, it gets even stronger. Since his armor is spread across his whole body, I can smash it like thin ice. Yeager charged on Eren in a failed attempt to grab him, but the attack titan grabbed his head. Eren shouted from inside the titan's nape. Too slow, you big oaf. Yeager got mad and grabbed Eren's leg furiously. While suddenly the armored titan was levitating on the air with dozens of abandoned houses and debris. He was covered with a green aura around his body. What the fuck is going on? I quote him flying. GHOAH. The armored titan shook his head to see a green hair lady floating just like him. Who the fuck is TH Tatsumaki? Cut his thoughts and said to everyone else nearby. That area's got some nice rubble. Hurry up and get out of my way. Hange screamed to Mikasa and everyone else. Flee away from the area. Eren, you too. She's using her psychic powers against Yeager. The attack titan obeyed to Hange and falled back to them. She's using her psychic powers. Is that woman in the previous man just like Saitama? No, it cannot be. I can't. Move a muscle. Hey, you think you're tough big guy? Tatsumaki retorted towards the armored titan. Riener's mind got crazy. What did she just? How? When? I don't think my form can take such damage. Dammiit. A present. She extend her hands left and right and the green aura around her glow brighter. Clear out. All the houses charged on Riener and made huge clouds of smoke and dust upon the impact. Mikasa took a glance at the surroundings and saw another person. What the? She fly with her gear near and faced him. Hey, who are you? The person turned around and had similar face with Eren. I was about to ask you a different question. Mikasa, tisk, Sonic stated to her while both of them dodged huge boulder pieces from Tatsumaki's attack. Sonic had both of his arms crossed together. Suddenly she felt an enormous power befalling her whole body. What is happening? That's the same immense power I once felt when I saved Eren when we were kids. Captain Levi asked me about it. This guy has the same voice and very similar face to Eren. Who is he? He even has a scarf like me, except his scarf is way much bigger and purple. How you know my name's stranger? Sonic smirked and informed her. Your enemies told me about you scouts. They even told me about a dangerous bald man which I know who he is. They told me about a girl with a red scarf. That's you, and for last a short dude named Levi. I really don't care about you all. I just want to defeat Saitama and reclaim my honor. Huh? Let me know your name. Mikasa demanded to know the ninja's identity. You can call me Speedo Sound Sonic. I traveled from another world to fight and bring down my nemesis, Saitama. The modern ninja retorted back to Mikasa. Why, you can come with us. He is here. I can take you to him. Sonic walked closer to her and gave her a serious expression. Mikasa blushed and covered her face with her scarf. I will find him on my own, thanks. Mikasa. Sonic disappeared from her eyesight after a couple of Atoscons, with Tatsumaki and the armored titan. Now you can use your stupid toys, weaklings. Tatsumaki put down the almost dead armored titan who had most of his armor broken from her attack. Jean, Connie, Sasha and Hange launched the thunder spears on Riener's nape. Now, we can attack with thunder spears in situations exactly like this. Right here and now, we've got to settle it. Everyone shot the thunder spears and all of them stuck on Riener's nape. They detonated them by pushing away the detonation rope. Riener had wide and open eyes and mouth. The armored titan screamed in pain from the explosions. We did it. Jean shouted to his comrades. Flashback. Thunder Spears invention. You see. Hange smiled and showed everyone the power of the thunder spears, including Saitama, Tatsumaki and Genos. Everyone excluding the three heroes were impressed and had their gazes on the destroyed tree. Even Mikasa had her glance shocked. It's powerful, as you can see. It's like a strike of lightning. Hence the name, Thunder Spear. Hange resumed whilst she equipped one of the thunder spears. However, I highly doubt that is enough to compare with the hero's powers. Saitama wanna give it a try. The hero shifted his attention to Hange and came closer. Okay, test that new weapon of yours on me. Hange smiled and aimed the thunder spear on Saitama. Hey, here goes. She launched and detonated it. Saitama grabbed it with his gloved right hand. Is that a kaboom? The spear exploded on Saitama. Genos wasn't worried about his sensei. Many of the scouts thought Saitama was dead meat. But after the dust cleared out, the hero came out of the smoke with not a single scratch on him, except of his suit being torn to mutable spots. Oh crap. Genos, can you sew it up when we get back from the operation? The cyborg nodded towards his invincible master, leaving everyone else with utter shock and sweat all over their heads, excluding Tatsumaki, who was staring away with a cocky expression. HMPH. End of flashback with Saitama and Levi. Now, Saitama, let's head for the Beast Titan. Levi shouted, determined to the caped hero. Oh, it's a giant monkey, Saitama replied, as he watched the Beast Titan preparing some rocks to throw towards them. TCH. I'll get to cover. You must take his attention and give me time to strike from the left. Levi ordered Saitama, who agreed with a small nod. Okay, if you say so. Saitama prepared to run towards the Beast Titan. Flashback on Wall Maria before the scouts arrive. Zeke was talking to his warriors while Riener was drinking his coffee. I already told you. Annie is doing fine, I'm sure. There's no way she's getting tortured. For starters, don't you think that's unlikely? With powers like ours, one scratch and we can pretty much handle anything. And remember, it's Annie we're talking about. I bet she's in hiding somewhere and practicing her kicks and whatnot. Zeke scratched his left eye. Still, there's no mistaking her identity was revealed. Riener said, and Berthold followed him even if it's Annie. Plus they have that man, Saitama. He's extremely dangerous. He was able to go head to toe with Riener's form. He was even able to climb all the way up on my colossal titan form and asking me to come out. The hot steam didn't affect him at all. Berthold replied scared and nervous towards Zeke. Zeke gave them a blank expression and answer. So what if that Saitama is abnormal? He will not prevent us from completing our mission. I guarantee you he will die by my hand if I don't brainwash him, or there is a chance to turn him into brainless titan. Zeke resume and remind them focus now. We only have one goal. To recover the coordinate and put an end to this cursed history. Let's end this. I want to end all this with us. Berthold moved his gaze at Zeke and reply calm. Understood. I'll try to keep Annie out of my head for now. There's no need to put anyone else through this hell but us. Let's end this. Reiner shook his head to his comrade. Bertholds. They heard their Titan scout's voice calling Zeke. War Chief Zeke. All three of them run at the edge to hear what the Titan will say. Enemy troops are approaching. They've reached the foot. Everyone had determined faces. Before the battle starts, Zeke encouraged them. My brave warriors, it's time to settle this here and finish our mission once and for all. The dawn has arrived. Reiner kicked the cups of tea from the edge and shifted his gaze to Berthold. Let's go. Yeah, Berthold said back. Bertholds, I told you a bunch of times, but you and I will be in separate positions. So try thinking on your own for once. Right. You don't always have to wait for my signal. Yeah, I know Reiner. Reiner resumed with a serious expression. You're supposed to be the one with the greatest ability of all. But that Saitama poked out of nowhere and denied that. He must die today. That's right. We're gonna win and end this. Reiner smirked and walked back to Berthold. Keep up that attitude till you're with your beloved Annie. It's not like that. Berthold blushed, but Reiner didn't fall for his weak excuse. I bet even Annie would appreciate the one who rushes in to save her. And mistake him for her prince, even if it's you. And, Krista, Reiner placed his right hand on his chest and continued determined. We'll save her no matter what. That's our promise to Ymir. Yeah, no matter what. Both of them turned their backs and Reiner placed his left arm on Berthold's shoulder. See ya, I'm counting on you, buddy. Berthold did the same to Reiner. Leave it to me. End of flashback. Berthold thought to himself it's been a while since Reiner transformed. No signal yet. Reiner, are you okay? Reiner's face was half ripped and hot steam were fading away. We did it. Jean shouted to his allies. Reiner bit the dust. Connie stated. Haha, thanks to Eren, genos and terrible tornado. Serves you right, scumbag. Jean's cocky smile turned into anger and grabbed Connie and Sasha's chests cause they were crying. What the hell are you crying for? Come on, get up. This ain't over yet. They kept crying sad don't cry. We killed him. Anne shouted to them with frustrated expression planted on her face. It's not over. Ready your equipment for the next round. Huh? Mikasa's gaze shifted right to see Sonic watching them from the distance. He was searching for Saitama but no trace of him. Armin, look. Mikasa pointed Sonic with her hand. Who is that Mikasa? She answered back with no hesitation. I met him few minutes ago. He comes from the other world like the heroes, but he has something familiar with us Armin. Armin took many glances to Sonic and asked Mikasa. What you mean? His face is similar to Eren's and his voice is exactly the same. Didn't Captain Levi ask me something on the carriage about a power I felt? Armin remembered and nodded his head nervously. I felt it again. With this man over there. Armin walked near Hange to inform her about Sonic. He was ready to tell her but suddenly the armored titan screamed as loud as he could. It can't be. Erwin said inside his mind whilst Levi and Saitama watched the beast titan grabbing one of the barrels that was on the cart titan's back and throwed it all the way atop of Wall Maria. That's it, the signal. Berthold told inside his mind furiously and determined. Saitama, take down those fuckers. Okay, but after that is done I'll need to take my cape back to Genos so he can sew it up. Levi smacked his forehead and shouted towards the caped Baldy. Just do what I say. Saitama nodded with his blank expression and began running straight forward against the beast titan while Berthold had to deal with Hange, Moblet, Levi squad, Tatsumaki and Genos. The beast titan saw Saitama running towards him from the distance. You think, you can win. Saitama. The beast titan shifted his head next of him and ordered 5 large titans to attack Saitama. Go and kill that arrogant demon. They obeyed like dogs at their master, but unfortunately for Zeke, Saitama punched their heads off their bodies. They fall down one by one decapitated and hot steam floated away from their giant holes. Zeke sweat a bit from the inside. How is that possible? He just punched them. Forget it, he won't stop me. The beast titan grabbed a huge rock and smashed it into his palms, turning it to a lot of smaller stones and debris. He took a stance and prepared to fire against Saitama. Saitama is doing work all right. The plan can be a success, and not even a single soldier has died yet. Or maybe that's because it's only the heroes, me and Levi's squad. but it doesn't matter. As long the heroes aren't threatened, we can win this. The Titans are no match for humanity anymore. Erwin screamed inside his mind whilst he were watching Saitama punching the living shit out of the incoming large Titans. Good job, hero. I can sneak up from his left now. The ape's attention is on Saitama. We can take down this beast idiot together. Levi exclaimed in his thoughts and start slaughtering Titans from the right of Beast Titan, who hadn't noticed him. Thanks to Saitama's diversion, Levi would be able to attack the monkey from a blind spot. With Armin and Bertholdt. Bertholdt, stop right there. Armin screamed at his enemy and grabbed his attention. Armin, what are you trying to accomplish? Eren thought for his friend. Bertholdt, let's talk this over. Bertholdt took a deep breath and screamed, if I agree to talk, would you all agree to die? We only want two simple things. We want Eren and the demise of humanity in the walls. That's the harsh truth of reality. Armin, it's all been decided already. No one will stop us. Not you nor that fucker Saitama. Armin shouted back to him and asked, who decided any of that? Bertholdt mumbled, I did. Armin didn't hear him and placed his hand on his ear. What was that? I decided it. Your lives are coming to an end right here. Armin hissed after he heard those words. He already knew they could just let Tatsumaki and Genos kill Bertholdt, but they didn't want to risk anything yet. That's very unfortunate. I was hoping I wouldn't have to hear Annie's screams any longer. Bertholdt got shocked and sweated when he heard about Annie. Armin continued his clever plan. The only one who can save her from the savages and the military police. Is you and no one else. At this rate, she'll end up as feed for the pigs. Bertholdt screamed back at Armin, fine. By me. He gave notification at Armin to follow him on a roof and he did so. Mikasa followed after him while the two heroes were watching with the others and Hange. Hange, what Armin planning to do? Genos asked gently, I don't know yet, but I don't want you involved yet, nor you terrible tornado. You won't give me orders. Tatsumaki float closer to Armin, Mikasa and Bertholdt. Terrible tornado. Wait. Hange's expression changed into a frustrated one. What's the rush, Armin? Aren't we going to talk? Both of them took their swords out. They were going to fight like swordmen. Did you think that if you talked about Annie, I'd lose my cool? That since I'm the meek and timid Bertholdt, you could fool me by letting my gua? Bertholdt saw completely shocked Tatsumaki having her arms crossed together and staring at him with a cocky expression. Now, Armin, explain me, who is that? How is she able to float like that? Armin released some drops of sweat before he answered. That's one of the heroes. One of the what? Bertholdt shouted back to Armin, that's right. Heroes. They came from the sky. Just like Saitama, they came to stop you and Yeager for good. They possess powers you cannot possibly imagine. Bertholdt, why didn't you freaks stay to your own fucking world? That brat is exactly like the Sonic guy we met 2 months ago. Bertholdt stated to Armin, angry. Suddenly a green aura covered Bertholdt and twisted his spine. He flinched in pain and agony. Tatsumaki floated close enough to Bertholdt's face to say, unforgivable, me, a brat, I'm older than you. Bertholdt opened his eyes with hatred towards terrible tornado. Tatsumaki, wait. Armin screamed at the Esper, but the only thing he did was to make Bertholdt even more angry. I got sick of you abnormal bastards. Bertholdt bite himself and lightning striked on him. You two fall back. Genos shouted. Mikasa retreat far enough to avoid fatal damage, but Tatsumaki didn't saw that coming and got fatally injured. Her head started bleeding and had several wounded areas around her body. Armin got worse than tornado. He broke both of his legs and hit his head hard on the roof, making him bleed from his nose and fall unconscious while Bertholdt transformed into the colossal titan. Hange, Moblet was with them too. He pushed Hange out of the way to save her. Tornado. Armin, I must help them. Genos enabled acceleration and he was able to take a limited flight. The cyborg used his palms for jet propulsion in the opposite direction where he wanted. Genos performed rapid maneuvers to avoid incoming boulders and came close enough to pick up Tornado and Armin on his back. The place was like a nuclear bomb just exploded. I got them both. Genos replied to Mikasa, take them to a safe place immediately. Damn it, terrible tornado. She had to interfere. Now she and Armin are in dire situation. Plus the colossal titan is our new enemy now. Connie retorted to everyone and they fall back to think a plan of how they will take the colossal titan down. Erwin saw Bertholdt's transformation to the colossal titan. Saitama and Levi must deal fast with the beast titan so they can assist the others. The commander told in his mind. Where's Hange and Moblet? Jean asked nervously Genos, who was carrying Tatsumaki and Armin. They were so close to the transforming man. Jean shook his head in despair and said, you don't think, the ones who survived, are us here. The colossal titan began destroying everything in his path with no hesitation. Genos, what we do? Wait for burning houses to flatten us. Genos holded his chin and tried to think of a plan. While my sensei is occupied, I cannot think he have enough power to take down that titan. Tatsumaki could take it down easily, but she's to the brink of death. She and Armin, Mikasa screamed and holded her injured friend. She shifted her gaze toward Genos with a frustrated expression on her face. You're in command. We follow your orders. What we do in that situation? Genos stare her in the eyes. We retreat. Both Tornado and Armin need medical aid. We rally at the commander Erwin for new orders. We can't engage him without casualties. My sensei is the only one that can handle him. The Seabog replied, but Jean said back, hold up, Genos. It'll be a disaster if we let the colossal titan near the wall. And the others. If the house and the inner gate catch fire, Levi and Saitama will be sandwiched between the fire and the beast titan. Genos showed disbelief and answered back, nothing wrong will happen to my sensei, but about Captain Levi you're right. We have no choice but to defeat this colossal titan right here. And we have to do it with the people we have here. Eren hissed inside his titan form. Everyone else were watching Berthold going towards the wall. Erwin mumbled and shifted his head back. What will you do? Beast titan is being hunted by an immortal is exactly what you wanted. The beast titan fired the huge pieces of stones at Saitama. The hero dodged them easy and came closer to the beast titan. You think you're some kind of hero. The beast titan tried again. It was a direct hit on Saitama. The rocks made impact with him and created a massive cloud of dust. The ape said to himself, I got him, but the first pitch was a warm-up. I'm going for a perfect game. Saitama appeared out of the smoke, running straight at him without hesitation. The only thing that was torn off was his yellow suit and small pieces of his cape. The beast smiled. Good, I knew you wasn't only show-off. He took a baseball player stance and throwed the rocks at Saitama again. The hero collided with the massive debris. Zeke, thinking he got Saitama this time, cheered. Yes, game set. Haha, you like that? I changed how I threw the pitch, he said at the titans next to him. Yeah, nice play, man, someone said to the beast titan with a calm voice. Thank why the ape took a glance and saw Saitama on top of his shoulder. Oh, you are the only titan that can talk. You're familiar with the monsters from my world. Do you mind if I keep you a little busy? Zeke froze. He hadn't seen anything like this man before. He was so calm and relaxed on his shoulder. Saitama gave him the look like he didn't care about anything in life. Nice fur, by the way. Now can you explain me why you titans eat humans? Saitama stood up and jumped down from Zeke's shoulder. He's exactly how Reiner and Berthold told me. He looks like a wimp, but don't let his appearance fool you. His mind though is weak. The beast kneeled and faced Saitama. Exactly. You are not from this world, Saitama. You doesn't know that these people brainwashed you from the beginning. You ended up here. We are the good side. We fighting for the good of the world. And Saitama cut him off in reply. I don't see any good with killing and eating innocents for no reason. You can't take away someone's life like that. Oh, and I'm guessing you're the Monkey King? The hero asked with raised eyebrows. One day you will understand you are doing the wrong thing. ... If you escape from here alive, of course. Kill him. The titans from the right of Saitama charged against him. The hero sighed in boredom and punched them one by one like the others. The beast titan took a glance to his right side and said in his mind, my titans has fallen. Levi grabbed the beast titan's shoulder with his hook and engaged towards the ape. The beast screamed and extended his arm to grab him. Levi spinned around his arm and chopped it into tiny pieces. Is this Levi? Levi flew behind Zeke and aimed for the eyes. Zeke thought Levi was going for the nape and covered it with his right hand. My nape. Levi sliced his eyes and the legs were next. Zeke couldn't keep up with Levi's speed. I can't see. Did he got my eyes? Levi cut off both of the beast titan's ankles and he fall entirely on the ground. My legs. Tisk. I'll harden. Shoot, I won't make it in time. Levi stooped upon the ape's nape and began slicing it wide open with his blades, making Zeke to scream in despair. The captain got the fur bastard out of his nape and placed one of his blades in Zeke's mouth. Oi, speak up, shitty loser. He pushed the blade and sliced through Zeke's cheek and got all the way up to his eye. We can have a soldier to eat this guy and steal the beast titan's power, Levi stated in his mind. The cart titan appeared behind Levi and opened its mouth wide to devour the captain, but Saitama came in and slapped the cart titan away. Nice work, Saitama. We need this guy. The hero nodded whilst he stared Zeke. Hello there. He waved to him. So those two are the most powerful soldiers Eldians have, Zeke said to himself. I must take War Chief Zeke out of there. The human inside the cart titan thought and waited for a chance. Saitama, the colossal titan has appeared. Go help the others now. I will handle that fucker. Okay dude. Saitama picked his nose and stated before he leaves. Now's the chance. The cart titan run again without making Levi notice. I'll enjoy seeing you being EGH. Levi jumped out of the way and Zeke escaped on the cart titan's lips. He spitted some blood and screamed to Levi. It hurts. You've done it now, Levi. It hurts. But now you're done. You and Saitama will die next time we'll spar. Kill that man. Zeke screamed and demanded to the Titans. They run towards Levi with their stupid faces. Levi remembered his promise to Erwin and said with a low voice, "Wait, I made a promise to him." Flashback on Wall Maria. "Hey, Levi," Erwin said to Levi. "What is it?" The captain asked with slightly interest. "I know Saitama will go with you to take down the Beast Titan, but I want you to kill him." "Why is that?" "The bald guy is pretty much a walking god." Erwin gave a small smile to Levi. "You are humanity's strongest without superpowers. Levi, I want you to end him." "As you wish, Erwin." "I promise," Levi stated and ended the conversation. End of flashback. I promised. Levi pulled out new blades and start cutting napes of all the Titans while Saitama returned on the wall. Levi and Saitama did well. Thanks to them, Erwin didn't notice the colossal Titans attack and huge flaming boulders collide with the wall. Someone saved Erwin just in time before he was crashed by the debris. Saw Saitama. The hero stared the colossal Titan and put Erwin down. "You should watch where you looking, you could be dead." Erwin exhaled in relief and nodded to the hero. "I just spaced out for a couple of seconds, Saitama," Erwin said. Saitama responded again, but this time with serious voice. "You did well on your own, commander, leave the rest to me." The hero moved his cape and jumped down to face the colossal Titan. Saitama versus Berthold. Saitama spotted his friends and run towards them with his immense speed. Genos saw him and exhaled in relief. "Look, my sensei is here." Everyone placed their gazes on Saitama, who just landed atop of the roof with them. Eren still in his attack titan form. Whilst everyone else had desperate faces. "Saitama, we're saved." Sasha ran and hugged him tightly. The hero patted her head. "Miss me so much." "Sasha." She didn't answer. Potato Girl's eyes released tears of joy. I thought I lost you, my love." Saitama cleared her eyes and encouraged her and everyone else. Genos knew his master will say something wise. Thus he equipped his small notebook. "Listen everyone, I will defeat the giant titan, but that doesn't mean you are weak." The hero extended his right red-gloved hand and clenched it into a fist. "We are all trying our best and I know that you all did well. I truly mean that. And you know why." Everyone gave question mark expressions towards Saitama. "The reason is, human beings are strong because we can change ourselves." Everyone's eyes widened in determination. Jean raised his right eyebrow and asked the hero, "But how you became so strong to be able to punch titans out of existence?" Saitama's stare shifted to Jean and replied with his neutral expression. "If you want to become exactly as me, you gotta train like hell until the point where your hair falls out. That's the only way to become truly strong." Saitama finished, and by that Jean placed his hands on his head with fear. "I'll pass. I don't want to become bald, thank you." Genos wrote everything and put the notebook in his front pocket. "Sensei, you're so wise." Saitama shrugged to his disciple with the neutral expression still on. "Alright, now we can do this. Mikasa, you stay here with Armin and Tornado. I, Jean, Connie and Sasha heading back to Commander Erwin to give information about the situation. Eren, you go plug the inner gate. Sensei, you go there and defeat the giant titan for us." Everyone except Saitama and Eren shouted in union. "Yes, Genos." "Okay, I'll go to take him out of his nape, I guess." Saitama replied while the attack titan nodded in agreement. Everyone took different paths. Saitama saw the colossal titan flattening everything in his path. The caped hero stand in front of the titan's giant feet. Saitama kneeled and grabbed the ground with his fingers. "This spot is perfect." He took a serious expression and said, "Killer move, serious series, serious table flip." Saitama flipped the entire battlefield into the air. Limitless rocks and dust blinded Bertholdt's vision. "Wah, I can't see a thing. I bet it's that bastard Saitama's doing." While Bertholdt were cursing Saitama and trying to find his location, Eren used the hardening ability to plug the inner gate. Mikasa and everyone else's expressions turned shocked of Saitama's amazing display of unlimited power and infinite potential. "It's him. So he's fighting that monster, huh?" Mikasa immediately shifted her head back to see Sonic staring at the colossal titan. She tried a lot to make the words leave her mouth. Yeah. Sonic stared at her with a curious expression. "Are you ill? You're all red." Mikasa noticed her entire face change color into a bright red. "And no, I'm not, I just am a bit shy." Sonic came closer to her and asked, "Shy from what?" She tried to think a decent excuse. "Because Sonic giggled and cut her off. "Oh, I know," he stated and stopped in front of her. You hate Saitama as I do, and you want to defeat him too. Is that it? She took her glance away from his face. Her cheeks were now like big tomatoes. No, not exactly. It's because you look similar to a childhood Friday to Friday end of mine, and your voices. Sonic finished for her exactly the same. Yeah, a guy named Yeager told me about that too. That friend of yours named Eren. Why yeah, you're right, she exclaimed toward the modern ninja and continued with her hand holding her scarf to cover her blushed cheeks. Come with us, Sonic. He smirked to Mikasa and placed his hands on her shoulders. I'm afraid I can't do that. You scouts are allies with my nemesis, with the man I seek to kill so I can get rid of mentality I feel. He turned around and prepared to vanish again. Wait, Mikasa shouted in a desperate voice. Huh? The ninja stared at her once more without turning his body. Will I see you again, Sonic? The ninja placed his gaze on the colossal titan who was still trying to find Saitama. As long as you are close to Saitama, you will. He disappeared from her sight. Meanwhile, with Genos and the others, Commander Erwin, Genos shouted and approached him with Jean, Connie and Sasha behind him. Where's Hange and the others? Erwin asked with widened irises. Hange and Moblet must be dead. We don't know their location yet. Eren is plugging the inner gate with his power. Mikasa is protecting Armin and Tornado. They've got fatally injured. Genos finished and let Erwin respond back. One of the heroes are injured. Damn it, how did this happen? He asked them and Jean answered she was close to Bertholdt when he transformed. Both she and Armin. I sended Saitama to fight the colossal titan. I hope he doesn't have the same luck as these two. Erwin replied and spaced out. My sensei is doing fine. He will never be threatened by anything or anyone. Count of him. Genos stated determined. Hey. Is the Captain Levi over there? They saw Levi atop of the wall walking close to them. His entire outfit was covered with titan blood. It was vaporizing and his eyes went white. This was making him look like a brutal killer. Levi, what about the beast titan? Erwin asked with particular interest. The bastard escaped thanks to that four-legged titan rat. Levi said while he patted from exhaustion. With Saitama and Bertholdt. I'll crash him when I find him. That bald freak, Bertholdt thought in his mind furiously. Alright, that's enough. You caused enough trouble, come out of there. Saitama was on the colossal titan's nape and knocking gently while the hot steam was making his cape float very wild. TCH, that bald bastard. The colossal titan placed his giant hand slowly on his nape and grabbed Saitama. The caped baldy had a goofy smile. You finally want to talk this out. Pause, I'm interested to help you become good. But what will you do after that in your life is your own pro. The colossal titan threw the hero and sended him right through several houses. If he's not dead from that, he's not human. There's no way a human can live from that. Bertholdt screamed from inside his mind again. Yeager, you're alive. Good. At least we can retreat and think of a better plan to fight against such strong opponents. Damn demons, Zeke stated, and the cart titan picked up Yeager. Bertholdt saw his comrade being rescued by Zeke and Pi the cart titan. Thank God, Yeager is safe. Don't worry buddy, I'll destroy those evil pests once and for all. Bertholdt was shocked and screamed from the unbelievable thing that just happened to him. Saitama pulled him out of his nape with no effort. The hero was in a hurry and ripped both of Bertholdt's hands and legs. Saitama didn't have a single scratch nor wound on him. NOOO. HOOOW. Bertholdt couldn't believe a person that strong truly exists. Dude, I'm sorry. That wasn't on purpose. I only wanted to pull you out but I pulled too hard and ripped your limbs. Saitama replied with his blank expression. The hero took Bertholdt back to Mikasa. Oh, there she is. He placed the colossal titan shifter down. Saitama. Eren ran to them and took deep breaths. I'm glad you're okay. And you got Bertholdt's. Amazing. Oh, what the? Him. Saitama and Mikasa replied and turned their gazes behind. They spotted Zeke and Yeager on the cart titan. They approached them from the rooftops. Eren screamed and pulled out his swords, so did Mikasa. Saitama was picking his nose and gave them a boredom expression. Don't come any closer. Eren screamed. Eren. Stay back. Mikasa shouted to him whilst she hissed at Zeke. What the? His eyes have those markings from after a titan transformation. Is he the beast titan? Eren thought inside his head. Zeke stared frustrated Saitama and replied to Eren. Are you? Eren Yeager. No response from Eren. Stay away from him you fucker. Mikasa shouted to Zeke but he answered politely. I didn't came to fight you. Not now at least. Eren, you don't look anything like your father. Eren mumbled curious what? Please believe me. I understand what you've been through. We are both victims of that man. You've been brainwashed by your father. Saitama yawned and kept listening to the conversation. My dad. Levi interrupted them and showed up from top of the wall. He still had the brutal killer outfit. TCH. Zeke hissed when he saw Levi and Saitama still being alive. Fine, Saitama. Levi, my injuries force me to call this a draw. Zeke shifted his attention to Berthold, who was laying unconscious next to Saitama. Berthold, I'm sorry to say it, but this is the end for you. Eren, I'll be back to save you someday. Saitama, I'll be back to kill you the same day. Zeke flee with the cart Titan. Levi runned out of gas and landed on the rooftop with them. Saitama, chase him down. The hero nodded his head negatively. No, I wanna see if he gets stronger the next time we'll fight him. Levi smacked his head but backed down. Everyone else, including Erwin, came on the roof too and stared the two injured persons. One hero and one soldier. What we do now? Connie stated. Levi, pull out the injection, ready to put it on Tornado. I'll demonstrate, he said, making everyone stare at him surprised. Wait, Genos shouted and continued. Tornado is still breathing. It seems she will live if we give her medical attention. Armin is way much worse. Both of his legs are broken. His head is bleeding too. You should save him cause of the fact Tatsumaki will survive. Plus she doesn't need a Titan power. Captain, Genos finished. Levi changed his mind and nodded at the cyborg. Everyone, leave now. Armin will turn into a Titan and eat Bertholds. Everyone obeyed. Levi used the serum on Armin and he turned into a brainless Titan. Berthold woke up the worst time possible to witness himself being eaten alive. He screamed with fear. Oh, help me. No help from anybody. Saitama had shadows covering his eyes though. Armin put Berthold's head on his teeth. Oni, Reinur. Berthold's head exploded from the pressure and Armin ate him. Hange appeared moderately injured and with a bandage around her left eye. Hange, you're alive, Erwin exclaimed and exhaled in relief. Thanks to Moblet. He sacrificed himself to save me. He always cared about me. She mumbled, sad and disappointed at herself. Is that? She was going to ask, but Levi responded before she ended her question. Yes, Armin. He ate Berthold and inherited the power of the colossal Titan. Go take him out of the nape. It's finally time to face the truth of our existence, Erwin stated, determined, while everyone flew to Armin's Titan. The Titan fell down dead and Armin came out of the nape. Everyone except Genos and his master were crying and holding Armin. From atop of the wall, Sonic was stalking them. His gaze was on Saitama. I finally found you. Saitama, the modern ninja, clenched his hands and took his childlike smile. Sensei, what is it? Saitama's expression turned into a blank one. Nothing, I'm just bored and hungry. Don't worry, Sensei. When we return to Walsina, we'll all eat. The cyborg calmed down his master's boredom a little bit. Several hours later, transforming into a Titan, Armin consumed Berthold and returned to his human form, alive once again. Taking refuge atop the walls, the heroes and the scouts conducted a search for remaining enemies, but to no avail. As such, they decided to make their way for Dr. Yeager's cellar. Is this the place? Hange asked. It is, Eren said. All we've been through was to reach that place. Genos asked and Erwin answered, determined. Yeah, the truth of our people's existence. Let's go. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.